Starting in October of 2002, Naruto is based on the hit manga of the same name by Masashi Kishimoto. It was an instant hit as a manga, an even bigger hit as an anime, becoming one of the most influential pieces of media known to man. Its story follows the titular character Naruto Uzumaki, his friends Sakura and Sasuke, and their teacher Kakashi, as they tackle the challenges of being professional ninjas in the world of Naruto. But of course, all of this is building towards Naruto's one true goal, becoming Hokage one day. However, all of this is just the surface level stuff. There is an insane amount of characters that we're going to be introduced to over the course of this anime, and I'll introduce them all as we go, because talking about them all right now would make this intro an hour long. Now, why would I want to do that when this video is already so goddamn long? Stay here till the end, because there's a special announcement waiting just for you. Now, I suggest you grab a few snacks and buckle up, because this one is one that you just don't want to miss. Without further ado, let's get into it. This episode opens with everybody's favorite thing, exposition. Well, at least this exposition has a cool fox monster in it. Anyway, the narrator tells us about this fox monster, and it's like a big problem. It took out an entire village of ninjas, or shinobi, and that was just to hold it off. That is, until the fourth Hokage, the leader of this village, shows up and seals away the beast. However, he kinda got taken out by the beast during the process. After that opening scene, we catch the first glimpse of our protagonist, a crying baby by the name of Naruto Uzumaki. And oh boy, are we in for one heck of a ride. When we see Naruto again, he's grown up quite a bit. He's 12 years old now, and like most kids that age, he's up to no good. Only difference is, it seems like everybody in the village hates him for some reason. But more on that later. Now, you might think two fully grown ninjas chasing a little kid for a bit of mischief is totally overkill, until you realize that the so-called kid vandalized the Hidden Leaf Village's equivalent of Mount Rushmore. Being the sly kid that he is, Naruto also manages to give his pursuers the runaround, only to be apprehended by Iruka-sensei, his teacher, who ties him up in ropes and brings him back to class. Back in class, Iruka-sensei tests all the aspiring shinobi on their transformation jutsu, a technique that allows them to change their appearance. Here, we are introduced to the two characters that Naruto will be most familiar with, Sakura Haruno and Sasuke Uchiha, both of whom turn into Iruka-sensei, passing the test with flying colors. But when it's Naruto's turn, he decides to transform into a naked lady. Anime back in the day was kinda perverse, and Naruto is definitely no exception. By the way, Naruto calls this his sexy jutsu, and I recommend you definitely not try this at home. Later, Naruto is seen cleaning up the mess that he made, while Iruka-sensei supervises him. But here, we see a glimpse of how much Iruka-sensei cares, because despite how Naruto acted in class, Iruka-sensei still treats him to ramen afterwards. There, Naruto tells us all of his game plan, to become the next Hokage, the leader of the whole village. Unfortunately though, for now, this seems a bit overambitious. I mean, he has to graduate as a ninja first, and that means passing the clone jutsu, which he completely sucks at.
Clone jutsu!
This leads him to failing the test, and we see the sad side of Naruto's life. He has no family or friends, and now he can't even be a shinobi. Later, Naruto is sitting with another one of his teachers, Mizuki-sensei, who lets him in on a secret. As it turns out, this secret was the location of the Scroll of Sealing, a forbidden relic that the first Hokage sealed way back when. And what does he do? He tells Naruto to go steal it, and Naruto actually does, which is a big problem. So the Hokage tells all the shinobi to go look for Naruto, and it turns out that Mizuki is actually super evil and wants to steal the scroll for himself, using Naruto as the fall guy. Framing a kid? That's messed up.
Got me already, not bad. You're quick, Sensei. I only had time to learn one technique.
Iruka-sensei manages to get to Naruto before anybody else, and realizes what Mizuki is up to, until Mizuki ambushes and injures him. Not only that, the guy then also tells Naruto the truth about him that everybody in the village but he himself knows about. Basically, the reason Naruto is treated as an outcast is because the nine-tailed fox that we learned about at the start was sealed inside of him. Because of this, everybody thinks that he's a monster. After spilling this bitter truth, Mizuki throws a massive shuriken at Naruto, ready to do him in. But luckily, Iruka-sensei jumps in and saves his life. Iruka also tries to calm Naruto down by telling him that he was the same as him, an orphan with no support from the people around him. However, it doesn't work. Overwhelmed, Naruto makes a run for it, and Mizuki gives chase. After some time, Iruka finds Naruto, but it turns out that it wasn't actually Iruka. It was Mizuki disguised as Iruka. But no need to worry, because it wasn't Naruto either. It was Iruka who's disguised as Naruto. Yeah, it's all a bit confusing, but ninjas can be confusing sometimes. Just ride the wave. Anyway, Naruto overhears Iruka telling Mizuki that the beast inside of him doesn't define who he is, that he's an exceptional student who tries his hardest. This sends Naruto and me into tears.
Sure, he messes up sometimes, and everyone jumps on him. But his suffering only makes him stronger.
He then immediately jumps in to fight Mizuki, beating him and saving Iruka-sensei's life in the process. He does it all with the forbidden jutsu that he learned from the Sealing Scroll. It's this one that will become his go-to for the rest of the series, the Shadow Clone Jutsu. And in the end, Iruka-sensei gives him his headband, telling him that he has finally graduated. Episode 2 opens with Naruto dressing up as a clown for his official ninja picture. Because, of course he did. The Third Hokage isn't having it, and asks him to retake it properly. That's when the Third Hokage's grandson, Konohamaru, shows up and tries to kill him. Turns out he wants to be the next Hokage, and he wants to be that right now. Unfortunately for him, he's just a kid, and trips over the floor. He gets up and blames Naruto for his failure. However, Naruto doesn't care whose grandson he is and smacks him across the head for doing that. Oi.
I don't care if it's your grandmother, so believe it!
But that sparks Konohamaru's interest. Everyone else treats him like a prince since he's the Hokage's grandson, but Naruto's the first guy who treats him like a normal person. Despite his teacher's warning, Konohamaru goes after Naruto, and his teacher starts panicking big time, running after him. Later, Konohamaru tries stalking Naruto but gets caught immediately. When Naruto asks him why he's doing all that, Konohamaru's response is simple. He wants to learn Naruto's sexy jutsu to defeat the Third Hokage, his very own grandpa. So Naruto takes him under his wing and begins the process of teaching Konohamaru. However, soon enough, he gets his face punched in by everybody for all the perverted stuff that he does to try to teach Konohamaru.
The clothes kinda look like her.
That looks like me?
While his teacher keeps looking for him, Konohamaru explains how he's always had to live as the Hokage's grandson. How no one even calls him by his real name. That's why he wants to be Hokage. Man, humans really do naturally flock toward power, don't they? While all that's going on, the Third Hokage tells Iruka-sensei that becoming a shinobi won't be easy for Naruto. After all, the people don't see him as someone who's protecting the village by keeping a monster inside of himself. They see him as the monster. That's when Konohamaru's teacher finds Naruto and Konohamaru and tells him that it's time to leave. Konohamaru tries using the sexy jutsu on him, but it doesn't work. So Naruto takes matters into his own hands, which takes the teacher out. The episode then ends with Konohamaru declaring that Naruto is now his rival, and that they'll both fight for the title of Hokage one day. But it's clear that this is a rivalry of friendship and respect, so much so that even the Third Hokage approves of it. The third episode opens with Naruto getting ready for his orientation as a ninja, and getting ambushed by Konohamaru along the way. We then switch to Sakura and Ino, and it's clear that they have a serious rivalry, though it's unclear why. When all of them get to class, we see that Naruto has a huge crush on Sakura, and tries talking to her, only to get shoved to the side. Yikes. Turns out that Sakura, Ino, and every other girl in the class is only interested in one guy, and that's the top rookie shinobi this year, Sasuke Uchiha. Sasuke is the Vegeta to Naruto's Goku. He's cold, distant, really cool, and there's something slightly menacing about him. He is the sole survivor of his clan, but we'll get to all of that later. Anyway, Naruto is immediately jealous of Sasuke, and he gets all up in his face to show him that. Unfortunately though, he gets bumped from behind and ends up kissing Sasuke in one of the funniest and most iconic scenes in all of Naruto.
Sorry, did I bump you?
What the?
A scene which becomes the horror of every girl in class, who proceeds to open a fresh can of whoop-ass on him. After all that drama, Iruka-sensei announces that the class will be divided into teams of 3, and will be assigned a dedicated sensei. And it just so happens that Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura end up in the same team. Of course. Sasuke runs off as soon as class is over, so Naruto tries to get lunch with Sakura but gets brutally rejected. Super annoyed by that, he decides to go after Sasuke, but instead he ends up getting beaten up. Sasuke then goes and has a surprisingly intimate conversation with Sakura. But yeah, it's not actually Sasuke, it's Naruto disguised as Sasuke. Turns out, Naruto actually beat him, and is doing this to make Sakura think that Sasuke's a jerk. But when he has to go to the bathroom, the real Sasuke, who manages to escape, shows up and shows Sakura that he is, in fact, a real jerk, breaking her heart.
Because you're annoying.
Naruto then runs into Sasuke again and plans to fight him, until he has to go to the bathroom again. He drank some expired milk in the morning, so the rest of the episode is basically him just having to run off to the bathroom. I bet he wishes there was a jutsu to fix that. The episode opens with Team 7, i.e. Sakura, Sasuke, and Naruto waiting for their teacher, who's super late to the meeting. Naruto gets super annoyed by the fact that he has to wait, so he plants a duster in the door as a prank. Sasuke tells him that he's a fool, that no Jonin would ever fall for something like that. They're very high-level ninjas. Until their sensei walks through the door and totally falls for it. That sensei is, of course, the copycat ninja, Kakashi Hatake, the single coolest character to ever exist. He has them all introduce themselves, and that's where we catch our first real glimpse into Sasuke's life. He has someone specific in mind that he wants revenge on. After hearing all of them out, Kakashi says they'll have a training exercise tomorrow, which will determine whether or not they can become Genin, the lowest rank of shinobi. He instructs them to show up at 5 in the morning and to skip breakfast or they'll be throwing up. A bit dramatic, but okay, Kakashi. All 3 of them show up at 5 a.m. only for Kakashi to show up 5 hours late. The first part of the exercise is clear: mind games.
Hey, you're late!
Well, a black cat crossed my path, so I had to take the long way.
Next, Kakashi tells them the real challenge, which is taking a pair of bells from him. Since there are only 2 of them, the one who can't get the bells won't get lunch, and will be tied to a log while the others eat in front of them. Now that is just brutal. Meanwhile, Iruka-sensei learns the truth about Kakashi. He's never passed a team of kids in his entire time as an instructor. Oy, this is looking bad. Still, Team 7 starts chasing Kakashi, beginning with Naruto, who just charges at him like an idiot. This ends terribly, with Kakashi reading a book and kicking his ass at the same time. Before finishing off with the 1,000 Years of Death, which, yeah, I'm not even gonna touch that one.
1,000 years of death!
But this is Naruto we're talking about. He doesn't give up easy. He summons a bunch of shadow clones to distract Kakashi and grabs him from behind. Sakura and Sasuke are both impressed, and it looks like Naruto's about to get the bell. Until Kakashi uses a substitution jutsu to get away. Naruto then falls for a pretty obvious trap set by Kakashi, and Sasuke sees this as his moment, attacking Kakashi with a bunch of shuriken. Episode 5 opens where the last episode left off, and we see Sasuke's attack fail as Kakashi uses another substitution jutsu. As Sasuke and Sakura chase after him, Naruto manages to cut himself loose, only to fall for the same trap again. God damn it, Naruto. Meanwhile, Kakashi manages to sneak up behind Sakura and uses Genjutsu, a mind control technique where you trick someone's mind into seeing or feeling something that you want them to. Through Genjutsu, Kakashi shows Sakura an image of a brutally injured Sasuke, and she just implodes. Okay, someone needs to remind Kakashi that he is dealing with children. Really low-level ninja children. After all that's done, it's time for Sasuke and Kakashi to face off, and it's a heater. Sasuke immediately lures Kakashi into a trap and almost gets the bell off of him, which kinda makes Kakashi realize that Sasuke isn't a joke. He can't just read a book while he's fighting this kid.
A trap!
Meanwhile, Sakura wakes up from her Genjutsu dream, all while Sasuke is still going at it with Kakashi. He uses the Fireball Jutsu, a technique way above his pay grade, and that impresses Kakashi. Still, Kakashi is just too OP, and he traps Sasuke into the ground before heading off. Naruto, meanwhile, has spotted the lunch Kakashi has waiting for them and is almost about to start eating, until Kakashi spoils his plans. Oh boy. Sakura then finds Sasuke trapped in the ground and thinks it's another Genjutsu passing out. When she comes to, Sasuke says he's going after the bells again, and we see Naruto about to dig into the food only to be caught by Kakashi again. Oh boy. After tying Naruto up, Kakashi basically tells Team 7 that they're cooked, that they should quit being ninjas. He says they failed to even understand the point of the exercise, working as a team. He explains how teamwork is super important to the survival of shinobi, and that he'll give Team 7 one last chance to get the bells off of him after a lunch break. However, since Naruto tried stealing the food, they can't share with him, and they will be disqualified if they do. While Sasuke and Sakura have lunch, Naruto's stomach is growling like a lion. He pretends like he can take it, but he's really struggling, so Sasuke offers him his lunch. After all, they can't work as a team if Naruto is starving. Sakura agrees, and offers up her lunch too. What they don't know is that Kakashi is secretly watching them and he immediately shows up, asking them why they broke the rules. To which all three of them say they had to break the rules in order to work as a team. And wouldn't you know it, that was the correct answer. They then become the first ever team to pass Kakashi's test. And they all go home, ready to take on their first mission tomorrow. Except Naruto, who ends the episode still tied up. The next episode starts with Team 7 on a high-stakes mission, saving a lady's cat. Turns out that's the kind of stuff they've been stuck doing, and Naruto and Sasuke are sick of it. So Naruto asks for a cooler mission. The Hokage explains how there are A, B, C, and D rank missions, depending on difficulty and pay grade, and how Genin can only get D rank missions.
We ninja are also ranked by ability. Hokage at the top, Jonin, Chunin, and Genin.
Then, to everybody's surprise, including mine, Third Hokage gives in and gives them the job of bodyguarding Tazuna, a bridge builder, while he travels a village over to complete his project. A C-ranked mission. It ain't much, but it sure beats chasing cats. They head out of the village, which is Naruto's first time being outside of the village. From the start of their journey, it's clear the bridge builder hates Naruto, and Naruto hates him right back. As they leave the village, some shinobi with different headbands than the ones from the Leaf Village watch them from the shadows. Along the way, Kakashi describes how the Hidden Leaf Village isn't the only shinobi village, and how there are 4 others. I'll touch on them as they come up, but all you need to know is that this gives us a glimpse into just how big the world of Naruto really is. Everything is going smoothly, until a pair of shinobi literally appear out of water and ambush them. It looks like Kakashi bites the dust, and Naruto is next, until Sasuke jumps in and saves him like a badass. The shinobi then get free and make a run at Tazuna, but Sakura and Sasuke jump in their way before Kakashi swoops in and clears the bad guys out. What a show-off. After the battle, Sasuke calls Naruto a scaredy cat, and you can imagine how well he takes that. Kakashi says the guys that came after them are from one of the other shinobi villages that he was talking about, i.e. the Hidden Mist Village. Not only that, but their target was Tazuna. Turns out old bridge boy over here lied about just how serious the threat to his life was, so he didn't have to pay for a B-rank mission. They consider going back, but Naruto says they need to push forward, stabbing his hand with a kunai and vowing to never freeze up like he did today. Boy, our MC sure is a drama queen. However, when Kakashi goes to bandage Naruto up, the wound is already healed. It looks like the power of the nine-tailed fox is starting to kick in. The episode ends with a glimpse of the big bad Team 7 will be facing, a man named Zabuza, who wears a mask like Kakashi and has a massive sword straight out of Final Fantasy VII. The episode opens with Team 7 traveling on a boat, making their way to the bridge. On the way there, Kakashi asks Tazuna to tell the truth, so he spills. Gato, one of the richest men in the world, wants to stop Tazuna from building the bridge because it would ruin his profit. Standard rich people being evil and stuff. They finally make it to Tazuna's land, which is actually pretty colorful and lively, even though the way there was super creepy. As they head towards his house, Naruto is determined to not be outshined by Sasuke again, and is actively looking for any assassins.
That's it, Naruto!
What? Why'd you do that?
Unfortunately, the assassins have come looking for them too, as a massive sword starts flying at them out of nowhere, and they all have to duck. The sword then hits a tree and there's a man standing on it. The kids don't know him, but Kakashi does. He's Zabuza, a rogue shinobi from the Hidden Mist Village. And I think I speak for everybody when I say he looks so cool. Kakashi and Zabuza clearly know each other and respect each other's skills, and Kakashi thinks it's serious enough for him to reveal his Sharingan, a special kind of eye that greatly increases the fighting prowess of a shinobi, also allowing them to read their opponent's moves way better than a normal person. But Sasuke thinks that there's something fishy. Well, because Sharingans are supposed to be a thing that only the Uchiha have, and Kakashi is clearly not from the Uchiha clan. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura all surround Tazuna in order to protect him, while Kakashi takes on Zabuza.
He's building up a huge amount of chakra.
Zabuza disappears into thin air and the mist thickens around them. He then suddenly appears between Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and Tazuna, and it looks like it's all over. But like always, Kakashi jumps in and stabs him, only to find out that it was actually a water clone. Zabuza then slashes Kakashi in half, only to find out that he was a water clone too. As that happens, the real Kakashi shows up behind Zabuza with a kunai to his neck. It looks like this battle is over. But as we've seen at least twice this episode, things are never what they seem. The next episode picks up exactly where the last left off. Kakashi with a kunai to Zabuza's throat, and it looks like he's got him beat. But that Zabuza turns out to be a water clone too. I'm losing count, honestly. Kakashi gets smacked into the water, where Zabuza traps him using the water prison jutsu. He then sends a water clone after the kids, and Kakashi asks them to run. But they're not runners, they're fighters. Sasuke charges in but gets thrown around like a ragdoll. Naruto's about to run but remembers how he was embarrassed last time and decides to take Zabuza head on, and gets smacked back.
Naruto! What in the world are you doing?
But he just did that to get his headband back. With that, Sasuke and Naruto decide to team up to take on the assassin. Kakashi then lays Zabuza's backstory on us. Apparently, the guy killed over 100 of his classmates as part of his Genin exam. He was a stone-cold killer, even as a child. Zabuza reminisces about that moment, thinking how fun it was, before his clone starts giving Sasuke the business. Naruto jumps in with his shadow clones too, but it's no use. They all get smacked aside. That's when Naruto gives Sasuke a massive shuriken, which he throws at Zabuza's real body. Of course, it's just a shuriken. So Zabuza just catches that bad boy, until he sees a second shuriken hiding in its shadow. With both hands occupied, he has no chance but to jump, thinking that he's evaded the attack. And that's when we get one of the most iconic scenes in all of Naruto, because the episode ends with the reveal that the shuriken was actually Naruto in disguise. And with Zabuza's guard totally lowered, he chucks a kunai at the assassin. Now that is some high-level ninja business. Episode 9 opens where the last one ended, and the looks on Zabuza and Kakashi's faces tell the whole story. Naruto and Sasuke just did something unbelievable. Zabuza gets a small cut from Naruto's kunai, and he's ready to unleash hell on the kid. One problem with that idea: Kakashi is loose, and he's really, really mad.
Naruto, that was an excellent plan. You've really grown, haven't you?
Kakashi praises Naruto and Sasuke before starting to fight Zabuza. But there's bad news for Zabuza. They don't call Kakashi the copy ninja for nothing. He immediately starts copying every single jutsu and move that Zabuza makes. Within moments, Kakashi's mind games totally destroy Zabuza's confidence, and he gets put on his little butt before getting impaled by 4 kunai. Kakashi is about to finish him off when a mysterious figure in a mask throws 2 blades into Zabuza's neck, taking him out. Kakashi confirms Zabuza's demise himself and identifies the mysterious figure as a tracker ninja from the Hidden Mist village. The kid is about the same age as Naruto, and the fact that he could take out Zabuza like that while Naruto could barely deal with his clone really messes with Naruto's head. But Kakashi tells Naruto that that's just how the world works. After all, there are kids younger than Naruto that are stronger than Kakashi himself. That's a real brutal truth bomb right there.
In this world, there are kids who are younger than you, and yet stronger than me.
They all then get ready to keep moving on, but Kakashi passes out. Oh no! The next episode opens with Kakashi in bed. Turns out he's suffering the effects of overusing his Sharingan, and won't be able to do much for a week or so. Kakashi then explains that the job of tracker ninjas is to get rid of the bodies of rogue ninjas to prevent a village's secrets from getting out. As he's explaining this, we cut to the tracker ninja who took Zabuza's body and wait, he's alive? Yeah, turns out the kid in the mask was in cahoots with Zabuza, and the whole needles of the neck act was a distraction to save his life, which is pretty impressive when you think about it. But because he had to bring Zabuza so close to death to save him, he too won't be able to move much for a week. So Zabuza vows to see right through Kakashi's Sharingan the next time they face off, and beat it. But Kakashi is an absolute genius, and he figures out that Zabuza is alive, and that the kid was working with him. He tells Team 7 that they need to start training for the next battle, but that's when Tazuna's grandson shows up, calls them losers, says they're gonna die, and then goes back to his room.
There's no such thing as a hero. You're just full of stupid ideas.
Naruto, as you can imagine, takes offense to this, and he goes to teach the kid a lesson. only to find him holding a picture of his dad and crying. Yeah, that's the kind of pain that Naruto can relate to. Next up, the training Kakashi was talking about. Sakura gives Naruto and the audience a basic explanation of chakra, which is basically the energy that you use to perform different kinds of jutsu. Then Kakashi explains their goal: to master how to control their chakra efficiently. Their test: to walk on a tree with their feet, and only their feet. They start trying, and the results are pretty predictable. Naruto doesn't use enough chakra and falls like an idiot. Sasuke uses too much and pushes himself off. And surprisingly, it's Sakura who has the best chakra control, something that may or may not be important to her character later on in the story. Anyway, this sparks the competition between Naruto and Sasuke, who are both determined to outdo the other. Back at Zabuza's hideout, an evil businessman named Gato comes in and makes fun of Zabuza for losing to the Hidden Leaf Village shinobi. He's the one who hired them to get rid of Tazuna. The tracker ninja boy who saved him, whose name is Haku, takes the verbal disrespect.
Demon of the hidden mist. More like coward of the hidden mist.
But when Gato tries touching Zabuza, he instantly grabs his arm, before showing both his henchmen and him that they're no match for him at all. Gato leaves, saying that if Zabuza fails again, he'll really be done for. Meanwhile, Team 7 is still working on their chakras, but Naruto isn't getting any better. You'd expect him to do something stubborn or stupid, but he ends up doing the smartest thing possible. He asks Sakura for help on how to get better. As Kakashi looks on, thinking about how Naruto's dormant chakra reserve is even bigger than his own. He has no idea how right he is. The episode opens with only Sakura guarding Tazuna. Since she's the CEO of chakra control, she's here while Naruto and Sasuke are still training, doing their best to get up that damn tree. While they're doing that, Sakura sees firsthand how poor Tazuna's village is, and just how badly they need him to complete the bridge. Back with the boys, and Sasuke does something shocking. He asks Naruto for the tips that Sakura gave him. Not only that, but he initiates the conversation. Now that is progress.
Yeah, I can feel it. I'm going all the way this time.
Hey, Naruto!
Unfortunately for him, Naruto refuses to share. You know, rivalry is real and rampant. The rivalry is so real, so rampant, in fact, that they even compete over who can eat more food the fastest, which makes them both throw up. After dinner in the ridiculous eating contest, Sakura asks about a picture in the house, which really upsets Tazuna's grandson, Inari. We then get the backstory of Kaiza, Inari's adoptive father, who was something of a hero to the community and who Inari met when he saved Inari's life. Unfortunately though, that's when Gato and his goons showed up and gave him a public execution in front of everybody, including Inari. It's safe to say that the poor kid hasn't been the same since. Jesus, I thought this was a kid's show. As tragic as the story is, Naruto understands why Inari doesn't believe in heroes anymore, and vows to show him that heroes do still exist. The next episode opens with Haku, the tracker ninja kid who's in cahoots with Zabuza, coming across a Naruto passed out from training all night. But instead of ending him, he wakes him up to stop him from getting a cold? What follows is a surprisingly wholesome interaction between the two, where we learn Haku's backstory, how he learned everyone has someone precious to them, and how Zabuza saved his life. Though he doesn't tell the latter to Naruto, he says goodbye and walks off. Sasuke catches a glimpse of Haku as he leaves, and he's suspicious, but he lets it go.
By the way, I'm a boy.
No way! He's prettier than Sakura!
When Kakashi and Sakura go looking for Naruto, they find something shocking. He's made it really high up the tree. He then pulls a prank on them by pretending to fall, scaring the bejesus out of them, until he actually falls. But guess who jumps in to save him? That's right, Sasuke, who can also make it up that high right about now. Looks like the training paid off. We then catch a glimpse of Zabuza recovering with Haku, before we see Naruto and Sasuke finally make it to the top of the tree. We even see Sasuke helping Naruto back to Tazuna's home, and we're all thinking they might actually be friends. After dinner, Inari loses his mind because he can't figure out why Naruto would go to such lengths to train. After all, he can't beat Gato's men. But Naruto just calls him a crybaby and walks off. Later, Kakashi goes to Inari and explains how Naruto was an orphan who had it just as bad as Inari. If anyone understands how Inari feels, it's Naruto. Good old Kakashi-sensei, man. That's some wholesome stuff.
Even though he's young and still learning, he knows what it means to be strong, like your father did.
The next day, Naruto ends up oversleeping and has to hurry to catch up to Kakashi and the others, while Gato's men secretly close in on Inari and his mom. When Team 7, minus Naruto, get to the bridge, they see the bridge workers have been assaulted by Zabuza and Haku, who ambush them. But this isn't like a week ago. Sasuke is prepared and makes quick work of Zabuza's water clones. Looks like Haku has a rival. We pick up right where we left off in episode 13. Naruto traveling through the forest, and the rest of Team 7 facing Zabuza. Meanwhile, Gato's lackeys break into Inari's home and take his mom hostage. Inari is left crying until he remembers Naruto's words. He gains the courage to step up to Gato's men, who draw their swords. But before we can see what happened there, we're back at the bridge, with Sasuke and Haku facing off. It looks close, until Haku pulls off a jutsu using only one hand. Looks like Sasuke's in trouble. But before we can see how that went, we're back with Inari. These quick switches are really giving me whiplash. As it turns out, Inari wasn't sliced up by Gato's men. Naruto realized something was wrong and made it back in time to save him and his mom. Inari and Naruto finally get along, and so he heads out again to get to the bridge. In a flash, we're instantly back to Sasuke, who's kind of putting the whoop-ass on Haku right now. Zabuza just smiles and tells Haku it's time. Time for what, you ask? Oh, nothing much, only the most diabolical jutsu I've ever seen in my life. Crystal Ice Mirrors. He traps Sasuke inside a prison of mirrors and starts pelting with needles from every direction. Kakashi tries saving him, but he's got his hands full with Zabuza. Sakura tries helping out too, but she can't. It looks like Sasuke is done for. That is, until a shuriken hits Haku out of nowhere. Which means our boy Naruto is finally here. Here we go. The episode starts with a recap of the arc so far. And, once they recap all of that, then we're back into the heat of battle. Naruto tries to bring out some shadow clones, but Zabuza instantly reacts, and he's about to get sliced up.
He has clones hiding in the mirrors, all throwing needles at the same time.
Until Haku saves him. Wait, what? Turns out Haku wants to take out Naruto himself, but only after he's done with Sasuke. Sasuke isn't giving up easy, but the problem is Haku's jutsu is way too overpowered, and Sasuke has no idea how it works, so he doesn't know how to fight back. He's thinking up a plan for Naruto to attack from outside, and him to attack from the inside, until Naruto comes inside to help him. What follows is a pretty embarrassing beat-up for the both of them. And Kakashi realizes that what Haku is doing is a Kekkei, a sort of jutsu that one could only inherit. Since Kakashi can't copy it, he can't find a way to beat it either.
I'm not giving up, and I'm not gonna lose here. Because I have a dream, and no one's going to take it away from me.
But Team 7 isn't giving up, and so the fight continues. The episode kicks off back at the bridge, and with Naruto and Sasuke stuck in Haku's jutsu, Kakashi is weighing his options, but it's useless. The only choice he has is to take out Zabuza and then try saving those two. But Zabuza says it's useless. Even if Kakashi beats him, Haku's jutsu is too powerful for even Kakashi to deal with. Back inside the ice mirrors, Naruto's just spamming shadow clones trying to make something happen, but is getting his ass handed back to him every time. But that's when Sasuke finally notices a pattern to Haku's attacks and decides to make his move. Back outside, Kakashi brings out his Sharingan and begins his fight with Zabuza. Meanwhile, Sasuke manages to catch Haku with his fireball jutsu just a little bit. He's slowly figuring it out. Meanwhile, it looks like Zabuza has figured out how Kakashi beat him last time, and he knows how to deal with Kakashi's Sharingan now, by keeping his eyes closed and staying out of Kakashi's line of sight. The look on Kakashi's face says it all. Our dear sensei is in trouble. Inside the mirrors, Sasuke is seeing Haku getting slower every time he attacks, so he and Naruto start trying to escape in an attempt to make Haku run out of chakra. While that's happening, Zabuza finally makes his move on Tazuna, but Kakashi jumps in his way, and the episode ends with blood flying and Sakura screaming. Episode 16 picks up with Naruto and Sasuke still trying to get out. Sasuke starts deflecting all the needles while saving Naruto at the same time, but Naruto's at his limit and passes out, leaving Sasuke in a 1v1. But then, it all becomes clear to Sasuke, and he dodges a whole attack from Haku. How did he do that? Well, just look in his eyes. They look familiar, don't they? That's right. Sasuke Uchiha just awoke his Kekkei, the Sharingan. Haku realizes he can't go directly for Sasuke anymore, so he changes his strategy and just attacks Naruto instead, with Sasuke rushing in to save him.
Your chance of escaping my house of mirrors is 0.
Back outside, things aren't looking too good. Zabuza hurt Kakashi, and he's bleeding badly. Zabuza retreats into the mist to plan his next attack, but luckily Kakashi has a plan too, as he decides to take the fight to Zabuza. Cut to Naruto. He wakes up to see something terrifying. Apparently, Sasuke jumped in the way of Haku's attack to save him, and he's in really bad shape. Naruto asks Sasuke why he went so far to protect him, but Sasuke simply says that he doesn't know. But I think I do. He cares about Naruto. Sasuke now thinks he's dying, so he tells Naruto about his ultimate goal, killing his brother, and also tells him not to die. Naruto then hugs Sasuke's seemingly lifeless body in a scene that could make a damn mountain cry. Haku thinks the battle is over, but what he doesn't know is he just woke up the damn beast.
I'm gonna kill you!
And I mean that in the most literal way possible. Because the pain that Naruto's feeling right now, yep, it has made the nine-tailed fox emerge. It's coming for Haku. The next episode begins with us seeing the full effects of the Nine-Tails' power on Naruto. He heals all his injuries. His teeth, hair, and eyes all become more sinister, like that of a monster. Haku sees this as well. There's murder in his eyes. Haku's attacks stop working on Naruto, and he's much faster now too. Fast enough to break one of his mirrors and grab a hold of Haku. Kakashi realizes what is going on. The seal that holds the Nine Tails inside Naruto hasn't fully broken yet, so he has time to fight Zabuza.
Just maybe.
Haku tries his best, but the Nine Tails chakra is just too much. Naruto punches his face in and breaks his jutsu. He's about to put Haku out of his misery, but when the mask breaks and he sees Haku as the same guy he met in the forest, he doesn't kill him. The Nine Tails chakra is gone, and Naruto asks Haku why he works for Zabuza, to which Haku tells him about how his father got rid of his mother because she had the Kekkei Genkai, and he was going to do the same to Haku. So in order to defend himself, he had to kill his own dad. From then on, he was on his own, until Zabuza took him in. That's why he's so loyal to him. But now, Haku thinks he's kinda messed up and can't serve Zabuza anymore. So he does the normal thing and asks Naruto to go ahead and finish him off. I know that I've said this before, but for the love of God, how is this a kid's show?
Isn't it beautiful?
No! You must never! Do you hear? Never! You wicked, wicked child!
Amidst all this drama, Zabuza thinks he's gotten Kakashi beat, but it turns out getting struck by Zabuza was just part of Kakashi's plan. The blood on Zabuza's weapon let Kakashi's summoned dogs track and restrain him. And now, good old Zabuza is just a sitting duck, while Kakashi is the hunter. He brings out his most powerful technique, the Chidori. Yeah, Zabuza is toast. Back with Naruto, Haku is hell-bent on getting Naruto to do him in. Naruto thinks it's insane that Haku is only living as a tool for Zabuza, but Haku is content with that. After all, it's the only thing in his entire life that ever gave him any happiness. And so, now that he's failed as Zabuza's weapon, he's ready to die. I don't even know how to process that episode, so, let's just go on to the next one. Episode 18 opens with a slight breather, as we take a step away from the battlefield and see what Inari is up to. He's gathering all the village folk, asking for their help to fight off Gato, knocking on every single door. But no one is opening. It looks like Inari is on his own. Back with Kakashi and Zabuza, Kakashi loads up his Chidori and is about to send Zabuza to the afterlife. Meanwhile, Naruto agrees to end Haku's life and charges at him with a kunai. That's when the fog clears, and Haku realizes Zabuza's life is in danger. So he does the unthinkable and jumps in front of Zabuza, taking the hit for him and sacrificing his life in the process. Man. Meanwhile, back with Inari, his mom tries to stop him from going to the bridge alone, but he's not stopping. Lucky for him, when he opens the door, he sees he's not alone at all. Back with Naruto, he sees Haku holding Kakashi in place for Zabuza to strike him down, his final act of service. This Zabuza guy really is a heartless monster. But well, Haku dies before Zabuza can hit Kakashi. Meanwhile, Sakura and Tazuna run to Sasuke's lifeless body, and thinking he's dead, Sakura starts weeping. Meanwhile, Kakashi is giving Zabuza the absolute business, tossing him around like a sack of potatoes. He impales both of Zabuza's arms, meaning he can't even fight back properly. Nor can he do any of his jutsu. But that's when Gato shows up, accompanied by a lot of thugs. There is just no way that this is going to end well, is there? The following episode opens with Gato explaining why he brought those thugs here. To kill Zabuza. You see, he didn't really like Haku threatening him when Zabuza was injured, especially with the money he was paying them. And it turns out, for the price of a Jonin like Zabuza, he can get a lot of regular skilled ninjas. Gato approaches Haku's body and starts kicking and poking it. This makes Naruto lose his mind, but Kakashi stops him from starting a fight. So Naruto asks Zabuza if he's gonna let Gato do that to his friend, to which Zabuza says that he feels nothing. Haku was just a tool for him to use. Zabuza's the real tool, if you ask me.
You grabbed me and nearly broke my arm. I've been meaning to repay you for that.
But Naruto's not letting him off that easily. He rips into him, talking about how Haku gave up his own dreams because he cared about Zabuza that damn much. Naruto starts crying as he's saying this, but Zabuza tells him to stop speaking, before we see the tears falling down his eyes. Turns out, all that tough talk was just a front. Zabuza not only cared for Haku, he cared a lot. He cries over his fallen comrade, talking about his regret, before asking Naruto to give him a kunai. Naruto obliges, and he charges at Gato and his mob, with just his legs and a kunai in his teeth. He takes a bunch of guys out, and gets stabbed by a bunch too. But he eventually gets to Gato, and he takes the evil businessman out, before scaring off the rest of the mob, and then finally biting the dust. Naruto looks away, but Kakashi tells him to watch. That was the end of a man who lived fiercely. Back with Sakura, and surprise, surprise, Sasuke is not dead. Come on, you really think that they get rid of him like that? Don't worry guys, this isn't Attack on Titan. Earlier, Sakura was crying from sadness, but now she's crying tears of joy. Sasuke gets up and immediately asks where Naruto is. Seeing him, Naruto almost breaks down in tears too, but they don't have time to be emotional. Remember all those thugs Gato hired? Well, Zabuza just took out their payday, so they have a new plan. To raid the village and take everything valuable that they have. Sadly, Team 7 is too exhausted from their battle to stop them, and the mob closes in. Until an arrow is shot in front of them. And guess what? It's Inari and the rest of the village elders here to fight for their village. Naruto summons some shadow clones to help, and Kakashi helps by bluffing with clones too. Seeing that the threat is way more than they were ready for, the thugs decide to bail. As the villagers celebrate, Zabuza has one last thing to ask of Kakashi. He wants to die next to Haku. So Kakashi takes him there, and he passes away next to the person that he cared about most.
You are always at my side. The least I can do is to be beside you at the end.
No, I'm not crying. There's just something in both my eyes. Later, after burying Zabuza and Haku, Naruto decides that this whole being a tool thing isn't the kind of ninja that he wants to be, so he's gonna pave his own ninja way. And with that, Team 7 bids Tazuna, Inari, and the rest of the village people a super emotional goodbye. As they're leaving, Tazuna comes up with a name for the bridge. The Great Naruto Bridge. A name that people will remember for a long, long time. The following episode opens with Naruto finally back at the Leaf Village and meeting up with his teammates. Soon, Kakashi shows up and Naruto immediately starts demanding harder missions. There's a hidden agenda behind that though. Naruto hates the fact that Sasuke saved his life and wants to do the same so he isn't indebted to him anymore. That's when Sasuke tells Naruto if he wants to repay him, all he has to do is grow stronger than him. While all that's happening, Sakura tries to get some alone time with Sasuke, but, well, he just kinda shuts her down, telling her to practice jutsu instead. That happens way more often than you'd think it would, but she keeps trying.
Let's face it, you're actually worse than Naruto. Worse than Naruto. Worse than Naruto.
That's when Naruto sees what definitely isn't Konohamaru spying on him, but with a twist. This time, he has his friends Moegi and Udon with him too. When all of them see Sakura, they ask Naruto if she's his girlfriend, to which Naruto says yes, and Sakura promptly smacks the taste out of his mouth. When Konohamaru calls her ugly for beating Naruto, she gives him the business too. All of them then run into two shinobi who are clearly not from the Leaf Village. The girl's name is Temari, and the guy is Kankuro, who has taken offense to Konohamaru bumping into him. He beats him up and threatens to hurt him. Naruto runs in to stop him, but is tripped by Kankuro's jutsu. But just before Kankuro can hit poor Konohamaru, Sasuke throws a rock at him, stopping him. Kankuro's furious, and it looks like he's ready for a fight, until they all hear an unsettling voice telling Kankuro to knock it off. Yeah, that's Gaara. Someone we will come to know very, very well. Meanwhile, back with the Hokage, we get an explanation as to why there are foreign shinobi in the Leaf Village.
We will begin in 1 week.
That's pretty short notice.
Turns out, a week from now, the Leaf Village will be hosting the Chunin exams. Episode 21 begins with Naruto stupidly asking Temari what in the heck the Chunin exams are, to which Konohamaru very kindly tells him, and us, that it's the exam Genin take to get promoted to the next class of shinobi, i.e. Chunin. Meanwhile, Gaara and Sasuke clearly start seeing each other as worthy opponents, and this may or may not be a foreshadowing for a future fight. Back with the Third Hokage, he asks the teacher of the rookie Genins if they want to recommend any students for the exam. All 3 teachers proceed to recommend each of their 3 students. This includes Kakashi, which really worries Iruka, since he's just not sure if Naruto and the others are ready. Kakashi, in the nicest way possible, tells him to stay out of it. It's his call after all, and he thinks that they're ready.
Every one of them has great promise, but it's too soon. They need more experience before they are tested.
That's when the Third Hokage proposes a middle ground, a preliminary test for the Leaf Genin to see who deserves to give the Chunin exams a shot. Later, Kakashi meets up with Team 7 and gives them their invitation to the Chunin exams. Naruto and Sasuke are super hyped for it, but Sakura is having second thoughts. Later that evening, Genin from all the villages start to gather in the Hidden Leaf. The next day, Naruto shows up to play with Konohamaru and his friends when a mysterious shinobi shows up and kidnaps Moegi, Konohamaru's little friend. Meanwhile, Sasuke asks Sakura to go on a walk with him, and she happily agrees. Naruto chases after Konohamaru's friend only to see her being tied up and threatened. The kidnapper makes his demands clear. He wants the Scroll of Sealing, the same one that Naruto learned the Shadow Clone Jutsu from. Back with Sakura, and Sasuke tells her she should give up on the Chunin exams. He says that she's not ready yet. That's when the same shinobi shows up and attacks Sasuke, impaling him with about 1,000 kunai. Yeah, something fishy's going on. Back with Naruto, and he refuses to give the kidnapper what he wants. When he threatens Moegi's life, Naruto laughs it off, because one of his shadow clones already rescued her.
Then I guess you don't care what happens to this girl.
What girl? All I see is 2 dummies. You and the one next to you made of straw.
What?
He then traps the guy in a net, but he manages to escape. Meanwhile, Sakura is crying over Sasuke. Or rather, pretending to cry. In reality, she knew this was his genjutsu all along. We also get a glimpse of Sasuke beating on a similar-looking guy. Turns out, that was the preliminary test before the exam. Iruka was the guy in disguise, and all 9 rookies are ready. As the Genin try to get in the classroom, a bunch of bully shinobi are blocking their paths. But it turns out that was just a test too. This is also where we get introduced to Rock Lee, a guy with the worst haircut of all time. We'll get to know him soon enough.
Now let's see you deal with this!
But all you need to know, for now, is that he really likes Sakura. The next episode opens with Rock Lee challenging Sasuke to a fight? Who does this bowl-cut guy think that he is? Well, as Team 7 is about to find out, Rock Lee is him. Naruto takes a crack at Rock Lee first and gets absolutely owned. That's when Sasuke jumps in and Lee gives him the absolute business. Smacking him around like he's some chump. Sasuke is forced to bring out the Sharingan, and Sakura thinks it's a surefire win for Sasuke, but Lee still bodies him. Because Lee isn't using ninjutsu or genjutsu. All he does is taijutsu. In other words, Lee just throws hands, and Sasuke's Sharingan is unable to copy natural talent. Lee is about to unleash his final move on Sasuke, and it looks like he's toast, until they're interrupted by a turtle. Turns out, the turtle belongs to Guy Sensei, Rock Lee's teacher who looks exactly like Lee, or rather, well, the other way around. They're both absolute idiots. It really is one of the funniest things in all of anime.
Now for your punishment. You little fool!
Guy and Lee leave, but not before he tells Team 7 he's stronger than Kakashi. That's a big claim. We'll see. But before leaving, Lee says he's not even the strongest guy on his own team. That's Neji Hyuga, the guy he entered the tournament to beat. But Sasuke isn't worried. All this loss did was light a fire in his belly. The next episode opens with Team 7 making it to the registration room. There, we get formally introduced to the rest of the rookie genin from the Leaf Village. Shikamaru, smart guy. Choji, fat guy. Hinata, girl who's obsessed with Naruto. Kiba, dog guy. And Shino, bug guy. As they're talking about the Chunin exam, a guy named Kabuto comes up to them. He's basically just there to give them a bunch of exposition, including a little bit of information on Gaara. Keep an eye on him, though. He might be important later on. You'd think rookies would be scared of more experienced genin, but not Naruto. He basically straight up tells everybody that he's not going to lose at all. Yeah, he's a loudmouth.
I haven't a clue what's going on here, but I'll act like I do.
The shinobi from the Sound Village overhear Kabuto calling their village small and take offense to this, so they decide to attack. It looks like Kabuto dodged the attacks, but his glasses break, and then he pukes. Looks like the Sound Village shinobi have some dastardly jutsu up their sleeves. But before anything can escalate, the proctor for the exam, Ibiki Morino, shows up. The Chunin exams are here. The following episode picks up with Ibiki telling the Sound Village shinobi to drop their shenanigans or they will be disqualified. Then he tells them the first exam is about to begin, and it's Naruto's worst nightmare, a written test. Ew. Who even writes anymore? Other than the very cool guy who wrote this script. Even worse for Team 7, even a single person failing the test means the whole team would be disqualified. And, I think it's worse, because the test is so hard that even Sasuke doesn't understand the questions. But soon he realizes the test isn't about the test at all. It's about cheating without getting caught. After all, no good ninja worth their salt will get caught, right?
Judging from the rhythm, the duration, and the frequency of the strokes.
Across the entire classroom, we're shown shinobi cheating in the most creative ways possible. Sasuke uses Sharingan to copy the movements of somebody who knows the answers. Kiba uses Akamaru, Ino mind controls Sakura to see her answers, and Gaara has a weird kind of sand eye situation. It's not all smooth sailing though. A bunch of people get thrown out for getting caught cheating. While everyone else figures out a way to cheat, Naruto's way too scared to copy Hinata's answers.
It's because I don't want you to have to leave.
So he just wings it. Yeah, it's not looking good. Team 7 might be cooked. Episode 25 opens with the test still going on, and Ibiki reveals the true nature of the test. The 10th question, which is the only question that matters. If you don't choose to answer it, you fail. But if you choose to take it and get it wrong, you can never be a Chunin. How can a proctor be so ruthless? Well, Ibiki is the head of interrogation and torture for the Anbu Black Ops. But even the threat of being a genin forever can't make Naruto quit. He chooses to take the 10th question. And as it turns out, there was no 10th question to begin with. The real thing being tested wasn't their knowledge, it was a test of their ability to gather information discreetly, and a test of determination.
Remarkable. That little outburst has given the others some backbone.
With that, Ibiki congratulates them and sends them on their way. But before they can even blink, something crashes through the window. It's not an enemy though. It's Mitarashi Anko, the proctor for their second Chunin exam. She tells them to show up tomorrow for their second exam, and straight up says half of them will fail. Where is the second exam happening? Nowhere serious, just a place called the Forest of Death. Yikes. Episode 27 picks up at the aforementioned Deadly Forest, with Anko scaring the living hell out of Naruto. We also see a shinobi with a weirdly long tongue, and since HR made me promise to behave, I won't make any jokes. Anyway, before going into the forest though, everyone has to sign a consent form, in case they get got. The goal is to come out with 2 scrolls. The catch? Half the teams get 1 scroll, and the other half gets the other. So by default, half the teams will be disqualified. The time limit is 5 days, and once you're in the forest, you can't quit. No matter what, you have to survive 5 days. Let me just repeat that, in case you missed it. 5 full days for kids in the Forest of Death. If anyone from CPS ever watched Naruto, they'd have a damn heart attack.
Everyone is equally determined to pass, and all of them are my enemies.
So the genin swap in their consent forms for their scrolls, and 30 minutes later, they're off. The other Genin all plan on targeting the rookies, but as one team falls into Kiba and his team's trap, they soon realize these rookies are not to be messed with. Meanwhile, back with Team 7, Naruto takes a bathroom break. When he comes back, he's immediately assaulted by Sasuke. Why does that happen? Because this Naruto is a fake. The episode then ends with the shinobi transforming back to his real form and attacking Sasuke and Sakura. The second exam has officially begun. The episode opens with Sasuke taking on the imposter Naruto. During the fight, he manages to free Naruto, and they're too much for the faker. Sasuke also tries to stab him with a kunai, but he gets away. To prevent more imposter shenanigans in the future, Sasuke comes up with a secret password to identify his teammates. A really long, complicated password.
You got one a little shorter?
No, Naruto, that's it.
Just then, they get attacked by some enemies. When the dust clears, Sasuke sees Sakura and immediately asks her the password, which she answers perfectly. They then see Naruto and ask him the password. But when he answers it perfectly, Sasuke attacks him. There's no way the real Naruto could remember a password that long. The imposter then reveals his true form. It's the same long-tongued dude from the last episode, and he's really creepy. We then see the real Naruto, who's going through his own problems, being eaten by a big-ass snake. Damn! Back with Sasuke and Sakura, Creepy Guy immediately pelts them with a sickening genjutsu. It's so bad it even makes Sasuke throw up. It scares the living hell out of him. Sakura is cooked too. She can't even move. The Creepy Guy moves in and throws a kunai at each of them. But Sasuke manages to break the genjutsu by stabbing himself. He gets Sakura too and makes his escape. Meanwhile, Naruto is making his way to get digested in the snake's stomach. However, this is Naruto we're talking about. He's not going down without a fight. So he makes a bunch of shadow clones and makes the snake explode. Whoa! Speaking of big snakes, one attacks Sakura and Sasuke too. Sasuke manages to kill it, but the same Creepy Guy emerges from its corpse and goes straight for Sasuke, until Naruto stops him. It was a small break, but Team 7 is back together now, and they have their hands full. The next episode picks up with Team 7 against the weird snake guy, but Sasuke sees what Naruto can't. This guy is so out of their league, so he offers up their scroll in exchange for their safety. Except Naruto isn't having it. Turns out that was the correct call. Snake Dude has no intention of letting them go even after they hand the scroll over. And so the fight begins.
No! Stay away!
Meanwhile, Anko gets some super disturbing news. 3 bodies were found, and upon investigation, they discovered that the bodies belong to shinobi from the Grass Village. One small problem. There are 3 people with the same faces already competing in the Chunin exams. Anko shudders in fear. She recognizes this jutsu and knows the man that it belongs to. She immediately tells the other shinobi to alert the Hokage and get Anbu Black Ops in the forest. Whoever this guy is, Anko's reaction means that he's seriously dangerous. Back in the forest, Naruto is getting his ass whooped. The snake sends him through 1,000,000 branches, but then something happens. Just like on the bridge, the 9 Tails chakra starts flowing through Naruto, and he gains an absurd amount of power. He manages to make it back in time to save Sasuke from the snake, before returning the scaredy cat insult from all the way back in episode 6.
Hey kid, you're not hurt, are ya?
But the snake guy realizes the 9 Tails is in Naruto, so he strengthens Naruto's seal, takes the scroll from him, and tosses him aside. Sasuke, meanwhile, is just standing there, paralyzed by fear. But when Sakura calls him a coward, that snaps him back to reality. His Sharingan comes out, and he's finally ready to face Snake Man. Something tells me this isn't gonna end well. The episode starts with Sasuke back in his groove. He's taking on the creepy snake guy and gives him a pretty good fight, including a sick pile driver. Unfortunately, this is just a clone, and he gets ambushed by the real one. Not to worry though, because it was a trap, and creepy Snake Man walked right into it. Looks like Sasuke's got him. Emphasis on looks like, because no, he didn't get him, not even close. The guy's fake face starts peeling off, and we get a glimpse of his ghost pale skin before he reveals his real name, Orochimaru. He compliments Sasuke's power, saying that he's just like his brother Itachi. We will be meeting him in the future. He burns the scroll they had, and then tells Sasuke to beat the Sound Village shinobi who are working for him, if he wants true power. He also gives Sasuke a vampire bite on his neck, which leaves a strange mark on him, before disappearing into a tree. Don't worry, I'm sure that's never gonna come up again in the future, come on! This weird mark makes Sasuke scream in pain, and he passes out, leaving Sakura to care for her 2 teammates alone. Meanwhile, Anko finds Orochimaru, who calls her by name. Not only do they know each other, she used to be his student. As they fight, Anko thinks she's cornered him, and plans to take both herself and him out in one fell swoop. This, of course, doesn't work. Orochimaru incapacitates her, mentions he has some evil plans for Sasuke, and then he leaves.
A righteous warrior. How naughty of you to be using the forbidden jutsu I taught you.
We also see that Anko is the same mark Orochimaru just gave Sasuke. This guy has been doing evil stuff for a very long time. As Anko is recovering from her injuries, she gets ambushed by 3 tigers, and her curse mark stops her from fighting back. She's about to be cat food, but gets saved by the Anbu Black Ops. She tells them what's going on, and instructs them to call for the Hokage. Back with Team 7, the Sound Village shinobi spy on them from a distance, waiting for daybreak to spring their attack. This looks bad. Episode 31 opens with Lee and his team spreading out to scout for potential opponents. While they do that, Sakura is doing her best to stay up and tend to Naruto and Sasuke, but she ends up falling asleep. She has a nightmare about Orochimaru coming after them, and wakes to see Naruto and Sasuke still out cold. While Lee saves a squirrel from burning to death, Neji finds Shikamaru and his team, but he doesn't care about them. He wouldn't take a squirrel from losers like them. As a ninja, I personally wouldn't take that kind of disrespect, but I also wouldn't try Neji in a fight. You'll see why soon.
I've been wanting to meet you for a really long time, Neji. So, hi.
Get lost.
What?
Back with Sakura, the Sound Village shinobi, who show up looking for a fight, fall right into Sakura's pretending to sleep trap. But there's a small problem. The trap kinda sucked and had no effect on them at all, just as it looks like Sakura is minced meat. Not to worry, because Lee shows up to save the day. A Sound shinobi attacks, but Lee unleashes his special move on him. Unfortunately, it's 3v1, as the other Sound shinobi saves his teammate. The episode then ends with Lee getting pelted with the same jutsu the guy used on Kabuto. He can't see straight anymore. Boy, things sure are looking rough for the Leaf Genin. The next episode opens with Lee puking and bleeding out of his ear. Turns out the secret behind the Sound Village guy's jutsu is sound. What a shocker. Obvious stuff aside, Lee has no answer for it. When the shinobi attacks Sakura, Lee jumps in to save her, but gets taken out. Shikamaru, Ino, and Choji look on from the bushes as Sakura gets overpowered. The girl from the Sound Village grabs Sakura's long, pretty hair and mocks her for it, as her teammate makes his way towards Sasuke. So Sakura cuts off her own hair to get loose, symbolizing her cutting off her restraints and fully embracing becoming a ninja. She uses successive substitution jutsus to trick one of the shinobi and attack him. Biting down on his arm. As he punches her over and over again, it is at that time that Ino remembers the friendship that she had with Sakura in her childhood, as well as their rivalry, and decides she can't keep watching this happen. So she and her team decide to step in to save Team 7. You don't know it yet, but trust me, this is the start of a bunch of beautiful friendships. The following episode starts with Sasuke having a vision of the night when his parents died. We then cut to Ino and her team, or Ino Shikacho, as they call themselves, defending Sakura. But while Shikamaru and Ino are ready for a fight, Choji wants absolutely nothing to do with it, until the Sound Village guy calls him fat. This is a sensitive spot for Choji, and he absolutely loses his mind.
I'm just a little chubby, okay?
The fight begins, with Choji turning into a human boulder. Shikamaru possesses the masked body with his shadow technique, and Ino using her mind transfer jutsu to take the girl hostage. Their plan works, until it doesn't. Turns out the guys don't care if the girl dies, and Shikamaru's chakra runs out. It looks like they're done for. But that's when help arrives in the form of a very arrogant but very powerful guy, Neji Hyuga. Tenten is with him too, but she's not super strong. Anyway, Neji is about to jump in, but then stops. Why, you ask? Because there's some devious chakra coming from Sasuke. And powered by Orochimaru's curse mark, Sasuke wakes up. He asks Sakura who hurt her, before proceeding to put the smackdown on the guy who did it. But the curse mark is evil, and Sasuke is under its influence. He turns into a monster, breaking both of the guy's arms.
What do you know? Blew 'em all away.
Not quite.
He's about to end the other one too, but Sakura's cries convince him to calm down. With that, the Sound Village Genin surrender their scroll and retreat, with Sasuke left wondering what the hell just happened. Episode 34 opens with Naruto having a dream about Orochimaru showing a kunai in his face. If I had a nickel for every time a Naruto episode opened with a dream, I'd have two. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice, right? Naruto wakes up and has no idea about the whole battle that just happened. In the aftermath of the battle, Ino helps Sakura fix her hair, and the Genin of the Leaf all have a good bonding experience. Well, everybody except for Neji, who just stands there thinking about how Sasuke would make a good opponent. Meanwhile, we see Kiba consoling a terrified Akamaru. Why is he scared? Well, they were making their way through the forest when they saw a showdown between the Genin from the Sand Village and some older Genin. There, they saw Gaara. Found out that he's an extremely powerful bloodthirsty monster who can control sand. In front of their eyes, Gaara just popped a team of 3 experienced Genin like they were grapes. Hell, even his own teammates are absolutely terrified of him. And rightfully so. Bro just threatened to kill them when they didn't listen to him.
Sand burial!
Back in the present, Kiba, Shino, and Hinata have made it to the tower with both scrolls, and they just watch Gaara and his team walk by them, still absolutely petrified. And Gaara's exploits aren't going unnoticed. One of the supervising Chunin tells Anko that Gaara and his team finished the exam in just 97 minutes. This is 4 hours quicker than the all-time record. But that's not even the crazy part. The crazy part is he didn't even get a single scratch during the entire exam. Whoever this kid is, he means business. The next episode opens with Naruto and Sasuke fishing. They're all alone in the forest, so they gotta get their own food. Over lunch, they discuss their situation. They're 4 days into the exam, which means they don't have a great shot at clearing the exam. But Naruto has an idea. When Sasuke goes to get some water, Naruto tells Sakura that since they have one scroll, they should open it and see what's inside so they can just forge the other one. And it just so happens that at the exact same time, another team also has the same plan.
The next brilliant idea you get, how about keeping it to yourself? We got enough problems.
But when that team opens the scroll, they scream in horror, and their teammate finds them passed out. That's not reassuring at all. Meanwhile, Naruto and Sakura are about to open their scroll, but they're stopped by Kabuto. He shows up seemingly out of nowhere and tells them why they shouldn't open their scrolls. They have hypnosis jutsu on them in case anyone cheats and opens them before finishing the exam. Kabuto has 2 scrolls, and Sasuke challenges him to a fight for the second one. He doesn't care who he fights as long as they pass. But Kabuto has a better idea. They can work together. Kabuto has been separated from his teammates and needs backup. So they strike a deal. They can act as cover for Kabuto, and he'll help them get the second scroll. They stealthily make their way to the tower, but well, as you know, Naruto can be an absolute idiot. So unsurprisingly, he trips a wire and triggers a trap. Truly, if not for more experienced ninja, he'd be minced meat right now. Some time passes, and Sakura just drops from exhaustion, since they've been walking forever.
It would seem we've been spotted. Somebody is playing games with us.
However, they soon realize they're stuck in a genjutsu and have been walking in circles for hours. And that's when they get ambushed by about 100 people. Episode 36 opens with a recap on the show so far, before we get back to the ambush. Team 7 and Kabuto are cornered as there are literally guys spawning out of trees to ambush them. But it turns out these are all illusions. So Team 7 decides to fight them until the people controlling the illusions come out. Once the night is gone, the 3 genin behind the genjutsu show up, only to find out that the people they were fighting all night were Naruto's shadow clones disguised as the team. But the enemies of our heroes aren't done yet. They launch another clone-based jutsu. Naruto rushes in like an idiot and almost gets killed, but Kabuto saves him again. That's when they find out they've been fighting clones. The guys making them were hiding underground the entire time. When they figured that out, it's an easy W for Team 7. But it's not all smiles. Sasuke has a bad feeling about Kabuto for some reason. As it turns out, that feeling is warranted, because he wasn't really helping them. He was gathering information on Sasuke. Why, you ask? Because Kabuto is working for Orochimaru. You really can't trust anybody in the shinobi world.
I learned a lot about him during the second exam, and I recorded all the data on this.
Back with Team 7, they finally make it to where they need to use the scrolls, and the episode ends with Sakura and Naruto opening them. In the next episode, we pick up with the opening of the scrolls, and it turns out they trigger a summoning jutsu. Who did they summon? None other than good old Iruka-sensei. He congratulates Team 7 on passing the second exam before explaining how the exam itself was testing all the skills that they'll be needing as Chunin. Mission execution, survival, using both brains and brawn to survive. Seeing them survive such a grueling exam, Iruka thinks back to his argument with Kakashi and realizes he might have been onto something with these kids. Meanwhile, Anko is finally able to tell the Hokage that Orochimaru is back and has some devious plans for Sasuke. We then cut to all the genin who made it past the second exam, which includes all 9 of the rookie leaf genin. The Hokage then explains why the Chunin exams really happen. Sure, they do it to see which shinobi are worthy of promotion, but really it's about showcasing the abilities of each shinobi village for all the feudal lords.
In order to avoid destroying each other's military strength meaninglessly, those nations pick champions.
AKA, people with money to see. Even Naruto isn't safe from the vile clutches of capitalism. After the Hokage is done speaking, the judge for the third exam, Hayate Gecko, shows up. Team 7 might have been through hell, but the Chunin exams aren't done yet. Episode 38 starts with Gecko saying he has a little preliminary test in mind for the kids. What's more, participation in the third stage of the exam is on the line. Turns out there are way too many people who passed the first 2 exams, so they need to cut down the batch for the third. Meanwhile, Sasuke's curse mark is really bothering him, and Sakura is insisting that he drop out of the exam altogether. Anko shares the same sentiment, but Kakashi tells her he's not going to listen to anybody. After all, he's an Uchiha. During their argument, Kabuto raises his hand and drops out of the exam. He says it's because he's physically exhausted, but Sasuke isn't buying his BS. He knows something is up. Oh, and fun fact, the Jonin representative from the Sound Village is actually Orochimaru. Jeez. Sakura begs Sasuke to quit, but he's not having it. He wants to fight the strongest people and be the strongest version of himself.
You're one of the ones I want to fight the most. Huh?
So with Kabuto dropping out, there are 20 contestants left. That means 10 1v1s, with the 10 winners advancing to the third exam. The electronic board picks the first matchup. Sasuke versus one of Orochimaru's Sound Village lackeys. Even though Sasuke is incredibly hurt by Orochimaru's curse mark, he's ready to fight. But before the match starts, Kakashi tells him to not use his Sharingan because it triggers the curse mark. The match starts, and it looks like Sasuke is really cooking, until we find out his opponent can steal chakra from his enemies, and right now he's sucking Sasuke dry. The next episode starts with everyone watching as Sasuke's opponent mercilessly is draining him of chakra. Sasuke manages to get him off of him, but he's in bad shape. Naruto tries to motivate Sasuke from the sidelines, but it's not much help. That's when Sasuke looks at Lee and gets an idea. What's that idea? Copying the move Lee almost used on him. He even wards off the curse mark during the attack, which is not an easy thing to do. And just like that, with a move he calls the Lion's Barrage, Sasuke wins. After that match, Kakashi takes Sasuke away so he can seal the curse mark. Naruto still doesn't know about the curse mark yet, asks Sakura what's up with Sasuke. She just lies to his face, saying she has no idea. Anyway, with that match done, the computer picks the next match. Shino versus Abumi, the guy from the Sound Village that got his arms broken by Sasuke. As the match starts, Orochimaru dips. I wonder where he's going. Meanwhile, Kakashi successfully seals the curse mark, but tells Sasuke the seal depends on his will to keep the curse mark away.
This curse-sealing jutsu is only as strong as you are. It derives its power from the strength of your will.
The sealing process is painful, and Sasuke passes out. But after he's done, Kakashi hears a sinister voice from the shadows. It's Orochimaru. Oh no. Episode 4 kicks off with Orochimaru, which is never a good thing to say. Kakashi asks Orochimaru what he wants from Sasuke, but the answer is obvious. He wants what both Sasuke and Kakashi have, the Sharingan. We then cut back to Shino versus Abumi, and the Sound Shinobi is going all out, even with 2 broken arms. Unfortunately though, Shino already blocked his jutsu with his bugs. He just knocks Abumi out. Poor guy. Back with Orochimaru, Kakashi is prepared to fight him to protect Sasuke. But Orochimaru doesn't want to fight. He knows Sasuke will eventually come looking for him, so he just leaves. And when he does, the look on Kakashi's face says it all. Kakashi has no shot against this guy.
As always. But to play the game as you put it, I need pieces on the chessboard. Willing pawns to do my bidding.
After handing Sasuke over to the hospital, with Anbu Black Ops standing as guards, Kakashi returns to Naruto and Sakura, and assures them that Sasuke is fine. He also returns in time for the next match to be announced. Kankuro, Gaara's teammate with the puppet, versus Misumi, another one of Orochimaru's lackeys. The following episode kicks off with Kankuro and Misumi's fight, and Misumi immediately stretches like a snake and grabs hold of Kankuro's body. He then tells him to give up, but Kankuro refuses. So Misumi breaks his neck. Or at least, that's what it looks like. Because the body Misumi was strangling wasn't Kankuro, it was his puppet. And out of nowhere comes another puppet. Turns out Kankuro was hiding in the bandages all along. With that, Kankuro's puppet crushes Misumi, and he taps out, giving Kankuro the win. Later, Ino tries to get in Sakura's head and make her quit. But this isn't the weak Sakura anymore. She's ready for the challenge. And as luck would have it, the challenge comes looking for her. Because she's up next, and her opponent is none other than Ino herself. The fight begins, and the girls are going at it. During an exchange, Ino gets an opening, but instead of throwing a haymaker at Sakura, she just slaps her. What? We then get a flashback of them as kids, when they were friends and Ino protected Sakura from bullies. Ino still thinks of Sakura as that same weak girl and can't bring herself to hurt her. But Sakura gets super mad at Ino for going easy and immediately riles her up. Naruto doesn't get it, but as someone who is a rival in Guy, Kakashi does. That's just how rivals are. They want each other to do their best so they can beat them and become even better. So Sakura and Ino both put on their headbands and start fighting again. Episode 42 starts with the two girls really going at it. Sakura immediately brings out some clones and gets a good hit in, but the girls are so evenly matched that the fight goes on for 10 whole minutes. Ino losing her mind over Sakura being just as good as she is. So she cuts off her hair to show that she's not going to be left behind. By the way, if I had a nickel for every time a girl dramatically chopped off her hair in this anime, I'd have 2, which isn't a lot. I swear that it happened twice. Ino then pulls out her special technique, the mind transfer jutsu. Sakura thinks she'll dodge it, but falls right into Ino's trap, because she cut her hair off to be able to trap Sakura in place. And that's what she does, the mind transfer. Ino is now in control of Sakura's body. Now in Sakura's body, Ino is about to make Sakura forfeit. But Naruto screams out to Sakura before she can do it, and wakes up Sakura's subconscious. With that, she does the unthinkable. She fights back against Ino and breaks the jutsu. So they're back to square one. Except, they're not, because they're both completely exhausted. With one last exchange of punches, they both pass out, and they're both disqualified. It sounds like a bummer, but both of them have a smile on their face even when they're out cold. That is a real rivalry right there. With that, it's time for the next match. Temari, the girl from Gaara's team, versus Tenten, the girl from Rock Lee's team. Meanwhile, Sakura and Ino both wake up and share a wholesome moment before going back to hating each other. I'd say they need therapy, but I don't think therapy works as well for them as punching each other in the face. The next episode begins with Tenten versus Temari. Tenten is keeping her space while Lee and Guy Sensei cheer her on. She then goes for an attack but misses, which is shocking because her aim is usually perfect. She tries again with more projectiles, but she misses. Seeing no solution, she goes for her special attack, but Temari just blows it all away with her fan. It's Temari's turn to attack, and she sends a whole-ass tornado on Tenten, completely blowing her away. Pun very much intended. With that, Temari wins. Temari then tosses an unconscious Tenten, but Lee catches her, and he's not happy about the disrespect. He attacks her, but Guy stops him. He then shares a stare down with Gaara, which may or may not be foreshadowing to the best fight in all of Naruto. It is. It definitely is foreshadowing. With that, it's time for the next matchup, Shikamaru versus Tsuchi, the girl from the Sound Village. There's a problem. She's seen Shikamaru's jutsu, and he has no idea what hers is. The fight begins, and he tries his shadow possession jutsu, but she's seen it already. So she just moves out of the way and throws a couple of needles with bells at him. He dodges, but she didn't want to hit him at all. Turns out the bells are the real weapons. They produce a vibration that makes Shikamaru start hallucinating, and he sees like 25 different versions of her. With that, Tsuchi thinks that she's won. But here we learn the most important part of Shikamaru's character. He's smart. He manages to hide his shadow under the wire Tsuchi is using to control her bells, and takes control of her body. Then he makes her smack her head into the wall, knocking her out, and giving himself the W.
Big deal, I'll do that too.
And that's what I call using your head.
After that, the next match is announced. It's Naruto versus Kiba. And that's how the next episode opens, with Kiba versus Naruto. Now, Kiba thinks he's an easy win on his hand. After all, Naruto couldn't even do a simple transformation jutsu. And so, with all that overconfidence, he charges towards Naruto and gets a brutal hit in. Everybody thinks that Naruto is down for the count, but Sakura and Kakashi know he's not going down that easy. Sure enough, he gets back up, so Kiba attacks again, this time using a smoke bomb to obscure his vision and starts smacking him around. Naruto tries to get out of the smoke, but runs into a charging Akamaru, who knocks him out. Now, it definitely looks like Kiba got him, and he calls Akamaru back to him. But then something weird happens. Akamaru bites Kiba. This, of course, is a ploy by Naruto. He was disguised as Akamaru. Everyone suddenly realizes Naruto isn't a pushover anymore. But Kiba isn't done. He feeds Akamaru a food pill, and he turns red, before transforming into a clone of Kiba. Together, they unleash Kiba's ultimate attack on Naruto, Fang over Fang. But again, and stop me if you've heard this before, Naruto gets back up. Kid wants to be Hokage after all. The next episode begins with Kiba doing fang over fang again, and Naruto's having a tough time dodging it, until he comes up with an idea. When the smoke clears, we see not one, not two, but 3 Kibas. Naruto transformed into Kiba to confuse him and Orochimaru. One problem with that. Kiba can tell Naruto by his scent, and immediately socks the imposter in the face. But the Kiba he hits turns into Orochimaru. Thinking that he's been tricked, Kiba then smacks the other Kiba as well. But he also turns into Orochimaru. Kiba is cooked now. He's got no idea what's going on. And in that confusion, we hear that the first Orochimaru was Naruto in disguise. Just like that, Naruto gets a good hit on Kiba. And because Kiba knocked Orochimaru out cold, it's a 1v1 now. Naruto says he has a secret technique, but Kiba wants to end the fight before he gets a chance to show it off. He launches a barrage of attacks, not letting Naruto breathe for a second. But still, Naruto gets back up, and finally unleashes his secret technique, which is a fart. Yep, real mature.
You slowed him down at least!
I wish I could say I planned it.
Luckily though, as Naruto's deadly fart messes with Kiba's sense of smell, it gives him the opening for his actual new technique, which is a version of Sasuke's Lion Barrage, but with shadow clones. It does the trick. Kiba is out cold. After the fight, Hinata gives Naruto an ointment for his injuries as Neji gives her the death stare. Spoiler alert, Neji does not like Hinata. In the next episode, we get the next matchup, Neji versus Hinata. Now, from the conversation between Naruto and the others, we learn that Hinata and Neji are from the same family, the Hyuga clan. Hinata is from the head family and Neji is from the branch family. We also learn that much like the Uchiha, the Hyuga clan also has a visual Kikagenkai. It's called the Byakugan, and is even better than the Sharingan when it comes to reading opponents. Back to Neji and Hinata, and he tells her to drop out. As he puts it, she's too nice to be a shinobi. According to Neji, people never change. And so, Hinata has no shot of ever having what it takes to be a Chunin. Hinata is absolutely terrified of Neji. And the worst part? He knows it. He starts pointing out how her body language indicates how scared she is, which only makes things worse.
I saw at that moment you were thinking of your past, your bitter past.
Because of course his brutal words are going to do a great job of destroying her confidence. While Hinata won't talk back, Naruto has had enough and screams at Neji to shut up before cheering Hinata on. With that, Hinata gets her confidence back, and the fight begins. They're both using the Hyuga style of fighting, which they damage their opponents internally using their Byakugan to pinpoint the weak spots, and the episode ends with them still trading blows. Episode 47 starts badly, with Neji landing a clean strike on Hinata. She tries hitting back, but Neji has her completely outclassed. She's on the floor, but much like Naruto, she refuses to give up and keeps the fight going, even though she's in bad shape. Her bravery is admirable, and gives us another glimpse as to the effect Naruto seems to have on the people around him. But as wholesome as all this is, it's no good when you're up against somebody like Neji. With one last devastating hit, Neji knocks her out cold. Or so we think. The proctor is about to end the fight, but somehow, someway, Hinata gets back on her feet and tells Neji the truth. He's the one who has a problem with who he is, not her. The truth hurts, and it certainly hurts Neji, who immediately runs at her, and the look in his eyes says death. Fortunately, the proctor, Kakashi, Kurenai, Hinata, Shino, and Kiba's sensei, and Guy all jump in to stop him from ending her. Neji then tells Naruto he's a failure too, and there's nothing he can do to change that. Naruto wants to throw down instantly, but Lee stops him. After all, the fighting should happen in an official capacity. Rich coming from the guy who just attacked Temari, but okay.
How was that, Guy-sensei?
Good one, Lee. Nice going.
The episode ends with Naruto swearing on Hinata's blood that he'll beat Neji. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the best fight in all of Naruto. Because episode 48 opens with us getting our next matchup, Rock Lee versus Gaara. Of course, we have Guy-sensei and Lee sharing one collective brain cell before the fight, and it's always hilarious. But with the jokes out of the way, it's time to throw down. Lee immediately goes in for a kick, but Gaara's sand protects him, before lashing back at Lee, who dodges back. Lee starts unleashing a barrage of attacks, and he's super fast, but he just can't hit Gaara. Kankuro then explains Gaara's sand shield. The sand in his gourd protects him automatically. It's so effective that Gaara has quite literally never been hit. Meanwhile, Lee is struggling with the sand, and it looks like he's about to be smothered. But Lee manages to dodge it and gain some distance. When he does, Guy tells him to do the thing. That thing turns out to be removing his ankle weights that he was wearing. How heavy were they? Well, yeah, that heavy. In one of the most iconic scenes in all of Naruto, Lee gains even more speed without the weights. His attacks start pushing through Gaara's sand, slowly getting faster and closer to hitting Gaara, until he gets so fast that even the sand can't keep up with him. And then, wham! Rock Lee, a guy with no ninjutsu, manages to give Gaara, a guy with the ultimate ninjutsu, his first taste of the real world.
Over here! No, here!
Every single person's jaw is on the floor, as Lee's speed gets him another hit on Gaara. Unfortunately though, that hit couldn't get past Gaara's second layer of defense, so Lee goes for the kill and brings out his special move, the Primary Lotus, which is just the most crackhead piledriver anybody has ever seen. It looks like Gaara has been beaten, but then the dust clears and we see the truth. It was just a sand clone. Episode 49 opens with Lee in disbelief that Gaara was able to swap in a clone. What's more, the Primary Lotus takes a lot out of a person, so Lee's totally spent, and Gaara starts toying with him. It's really bad. Lee can't even dodge the slower attacks Gaara's throwing at him. Everyone looking on is worried for Lee's life, as Guy-sensei remembers all the hardships Lee had to face as someone who wouldn't use ninjutsu or genjutsu. But all of that struggle seems useless right now, because he's up against a monster. Now completely backed into a corner, Lee thinks about how much Guy-sensei inspired and helped bring him to where he is today, and decides he's not going out like this. So he resorts to his secret forbidden technique, opening his inner chakra gates.
So that Genin, that boy, is able to open the 8 inner gates and use the hidden lotus?
Basically, humans have 8 chakra gates inside of them. Opening one gives you a lot of power, but also takes a huge toll on the body. The Primary Lotus Lee did already open the first gate, but one gate isn't enough to beat Gaara. So Lee decides to go all out, opening 3 gates and getting a huge power-up as the episode ends. And when the episode opens, turns out he's not stopping at 3. As he begins absolutely smoking Gaara, he opens the 4th gate as well, before opening the 5th gate in his final move. He's so fast and powerful that no one can even keep up with him, and everyone thinks Gaara is down for the count. But, surprise, he isn't. Despite Lee's best efforts, Gaara isn't down yet. Yeah, he's in rough shape, but he can still move. Lee, on the other end, can barely even crawl, which is a big problem. Gaara gets his sand around Lee's left arm and leg and uses his sand coffin technique to break them before moving in for the kill. And he would have gotten it too had Guy-sensei not stepped in and saved him. Guy stepping in to save Lee really confuses Gaara. He asks why he did that, and Guy says it's because he cares about Lee. Something Gaara doesn't understand at all. As you'll come to find out, Gaara is quite the troubled character. Anyway, he leaves the battlefield, and medics come in to take Lee away. But that's when tragedy strikes. The medic says that the injuries to Lee's arm and leg are super brutal. He's never going to be able to fight as a shinobi again. This devastates everybody, particularly Naruto and Guy, who can't believe Lee's dream could just end like this.
Yes, yes, yes!
This jutsu, in the end, only Lee could make it his own.
But it's a cruel world that stops for no one. And just like that, the stage is set for the next matchup. Choji versus Dosu, the last Sound Village guy. The episode opens with Choji preparing to take Dosu down, before crashing into a wall and losing almost immediately. That wasn't even 60 seconds. With that, the finalists for the 3rd exam have been selected. But the 3rd exam isn't happening immediately. There's a whole month in between for the kids to prepare. Meanwhile, Kabuto meets up with Orochimaru to discuss his plan for Sasuke, and it's clear that while they work very closely with each other, they don't like each other as much as you'd expect. Still, Orochimaru asks Kabuto to bring Sasuke to him, and he sets off on his mission. Or that's what we think.
That Naruto now holds a certain influence over our Sasuke. The thing to do is to get Sasuke away from him immediately.
Turns out Kabuto actually doesn't trust Orochimaru and is about to kill Sasuke. He casually gets past the 3 Anbu Black Ops guarding him and is about to do it, when he gets stopped by Kakashi. A fight breaks out, and it looks like Kakashi has him cornered, but using the classic Shadow Clone bait and switch, Kabuto manages to escape. Back with the last 9 Genin, and they draw lots to decide their matchups. Naruto gets the matchup he wanted with Neji, whereas Sasuke gets the toughest matchup with Gaara. While the draw is decided, everyone begins preparing for their fights. Naruto's looking forward to being trained by Kakashi, but he's going to be training Sasuke. Thankfully, Kakashi has someone lined up to train Naruto, and it's Ebisu, Konohamaru's teacher. Oh, come on. The next episode opens with Naruto reacting exactly like how you think he would. He wants absolutely no part of being taught by this teacher.
No, not
Not that again!
Harem jutsu?
Obviously, he isn't a huge fan of Naruto either, but he owes Kakashi a favor, so he has to do it. So why does Kakashi want Ebisu to teach Naruto? Simple. While Naruto is turned into a fine ninja, he's not very good at the basic fundamentals of being a shinobi. So Kakashi wants him to polish these fundamentals, which would make him even better. But where Naruto says he doesn't want to do it, Ebisu gives him a challenge. If Naruto can outrun him, he won't have to study under him at all. Naruto agrees and begins running, but no matter where he goes, where he transforms into, or how many shadow clones he uses, he just can't outrun him. And just like that, Naruto loses, and he has no choice but to stick with Ebisu.
Control yourself, Ebisu.
Ebisu then treats Naruto to some ramen while explaining his deficiencies. Basically, he tells him that he sucks at chakra control. What that means is he uses way more energy than he needs to perform stuff like his shadow clone jutsu, while Sasuke and Sakura are excellent at chakra control despite having less of it than Naruto. So he takes Naruto to a hot spring and begins teaching him how to use chakra control to walk on water. But while they're training, they see an old man peeping in the lady's hot spring. Ebisu immediately rushes to stop him, but the old man summons a big frog and just slams him into the ground.
What's wrong with you? Keep it down. Do you want to get us busted, you idiot?
Naruto's amazed. Who the heck is this old pervert? Well, his name is Jiraiya, and as we'll come to see, he's one of the greatest characters in anime history. For now though, Jiraiya isn't a cool shinobi, he's just a pervert. Naruto's impressed by how he took out Ebisu, but he's not impressed by his shenanigans. Still, since he took out his teacher, there's no one to train Naruto now. So Naruto starts asking the pervy sage to train him. But the old man isn't interested in doing it at all. He just wants to do perverted stuff. Of course.
There you go, kid. You can train in there for a while.
But Naruto is nothing if not persuasive. And after spending the whole day going after him and using his sexy jutsu, he manages to convince the pervy sage to help him. So Jiraiya takes Naruto to a pond and tells him to try walking on water again. He does it for a bit, but then falls right in. Jiraiya has a good laugh of it at first, but when he focuses on Naruto, he realizes the reason why he can't control his chakra. It's because of the seal Orochimaru put on him. What's more, he actually knows Orochimaru by name, and he also knows the Nine Tails is inside Naruto. He undoes Orochimaru's seal and asks Naruto to try again. Wouldn't you know it, he actually manages to walk on water perfectly.
You know, you have quite a tight, sexy little body.
What the?
With the training done for the day, they take a bath at a hot spring. As Naruto sleeps, Jiraiya watches over him, and Ebisu shows up. Jiraiya apologizes for stealing his student, but Ebisu says it's fine. He's more concerned about how the Leaf Village has been looking for Jiraiya for ages. He asks if it's because of Orochimaru, but Jiraiya says he doesn't want to get involved with all that. But Ebisu isn't having it, and says he's the only one who has the power to take him out. After all, he's one of the legendary Sannin, just like Orochimaru. Looks like this new sensei guy is more than just an old pervert. The next episode opens as Ebisu leaves Jiraiya's side, saying he believes in him. Meanwhile, we cut to Dosu, who comes to fight Gaara at night, but Gaara's awake. What's more, he turns into some kind of monster and takes Dosu out on the spot. From a distance, the Sand Village Jonin and Kabuto watch on. It turns out the Kazekage, the Hokage equivalent of the Sand Village, is working with Orochimaru. Why? So they can destroy the Leaf Village. But there's someone overhearing their conversation. Hayate, the proctor for the third exam. Unfortunately for him, they both know that he's there, and the Sand Village Jonin tracks him down and takes him out. I do not like where this is going. The next morning, Jiraiya is being his usual pervy self, but Naruto snaps him out of it. So they get back to training, and Jiraiya tries to get Naruto to harness the Nine Tails chakra inside of him. But try as he may, he just can't do it. So Jiraiya comes up with a plan. If Naruto uses up all of his own chakra, he should be able to use the Nine Tails chakra. So Naruto summons a bunch of shadow clones and straight up has a Fortnite battle royale with all of them. He wins in the end and is out of chakra. So Jiraiya teaches him the summoning jutsu, where you can summon an animal after signing a blood contract with them. In this case, the animal in question is a frog. Naruto happily signs and then tries summoning a frog of his own, only to summon the smallest tadpole you've ever seen in your life. Boy, this is gonna take some work. Another episode and another moment of Jiraiya being a pervert. Anyway, Naruto is still trying to summon a frog, but all that he can muster is a tadpole.
Listen, if you're not going to take this seriously, then I'm through with you. Do you understand me?
I am serious! You're the one who's staring at the girls, you old goat!
We then cut back to Sakura, who's still thinking about Sasuke and his curse mark. Meanwhile, Hayate's death has been discovered and is being discussed by the Hokage and the Jonin of the Leaf Village. They discuss whether or not they should call off the Chunin exams, but the Hokage says they can't. It would be a sign of weakness. Back with Sakura, she decides to pay Sasuke and Lee a visit at the hospital. She stops by a flower shop to get some, only to see Ino standing at the counter. Ino then decides to accompany Sakura to the hospital, where they run into her teammates Shikamaru and Choji, as well as their teacher, Asuma-sensei, enjoying a nice meal. We then get a glimpse of every Leaf Genin's training for the tournament before seeing the Sand Genin having a heated conversation, but we can't hear them. Quick check-in on Naruto. Nope, he's still summoning tadpoles.
Can't you see it? This one's bigger than the last one!
Who cares? It's still a tadpole!
Back to Sakura and Ino. They go to visit Sasuke only to see that he's gone from his room. We cut to Kakashi climbing a cliff with one hand, and he's criticizing himself for struggling. I mean, of course. I could do that without struggling, so, I can see why he's embarrassed. Anyway, when he makes it to the top, he sees Sasuke standing there ready to begin his training. Meanwhile, Sakura and Ino go to check up on Lee, and guess what? He's not in his room either. Only difference is he's not too far away. He's in the hospital garden doing 200 one-arm push-ups. Despite the fact the doctors told him he'll never be a shinobi again, he's just not giving up. Unfortunately, though, he soon passes out, and Sakura and Ino can do nothing but look on in pain. We get a glimpse of Shikamaru training as well before going back to Naruto, who has finally made progress.
It's obvious our friends in the swimming suits aren't coming back, so how about we call it a day, huh, Naruto?
He can now summon a tadpole with rear legs. The following episode opens with some more progress for Naruto. His tadpole has 4 legs. Unfortunately, that's the result of 3 whole weeks of training, and Naruto is exhausted, so Jiraiya decides to speed things up. First, he takes Naruto to have a nice bath and to have some ramen.
Thanks a bunch, pervy sage! He left!
Before he tells him to go and hug Sakura. That, of course, ends with Naruto getting socked in the face by her. After completing this little checklist, Jiraiya knocks Naruto out. When he wakes up, Jiraiya chucks him down a cavern to put him in a life-or-death situation, hoping that this will finally bring the Nine-Tails chakra out of him. That's when Naruto has a vision. He's inside of what looks like a prison, and he sees a huge jail cell. From inside the cell, we see enormous fangs, claws, and eyes. It's the nine-tailed fox inside of him. The Nine-Tails threatens him, saying that he wants to kill him, but can't open the seal. Naruto, however, does not care. In fact, he tells the fox that since he's living inside of Naruto, he needs to hand over some chakra as rent, which is just hilarious. Surprisingly, the fox actually agrees. After all, if Naruto dies, he dies too.
This is it! Summoning jutsu!
So he hands it over, and Naruto tries summoning again. But instead of a tadpole this time, Naruto summons a gigantic frog, as Jiraiya watches on with a proud smile on his face. The next episode opens with Naruto on the back of a gigantic frog that he summoned. One problem though, that frog is the chief toad, Gamabunta, and he really didn't want to be summoned. He immediately suspects Jiraiya and starts calling him out. Jiraiya, hearing the anger in his voice, just kinda dips, leaving Naruto all by himself.
Knock it off, you toad jerk! You've been talking down to me and saying whatever you want since you first got here!
At first, the enormous frog doesn't even believe that Naruto could have summoned him. After all, he's just a kid. Naruto tries being nice, but Gamabunta is super mean, so he snaps back. Naruto says that since he summoned him, he's the master. Gamabunta just laughs and jumps out of the hole that they're in. But Naruto's determined, so he gives the frog a challenge. If he can stay on his back for a whole day, he gets to be his master. Gamabunta agrees, and puts him through the most grueling rodeo that anybody has ever seen, as Jiraiya watches them from the distance.
Look at that! Isn't that rainbow pretty? Yeah, it's gorgeous!
Oh yeah, I'll say.
We take a brief cut to the Sand Genin, and there we see what their plan is. Basically, their treaty with the Leaf Village isn't exactly fair. They're struggling financially, and therefore having a hard time building up their military strength. So they've joined forces with the Sound Village to take them down so that they can have their fair share again. Back with Naruto, he's still on the frog's back, despite his best efforts. At one point, Gamabunta almost gets him to fall off, but he uses his shadow clones to stay on. Unfortunately, that was all he had, and he passes out while celebrating. It's a shame too, he almost made it through the whole day. Still, it was enough to gain this frog's respect.
It's the first time since the Fourth Hokage that someone has dared to climb on my head.
And he drops Naruto off at the hospital on his way back. Only Naruto could gain somebody's respect through sheer stubbornness. The next episode opens with Naruto waking up in the hospital. And guess who's there to check on him? Good old Shikamaru. This is the point where the Leaf Genin all start forming a pretty good bond with each other. he gives Naruto some fruit, and then tells him he's been out cold for 3 days. This sends Naruto into a panic, but he eventually calms down. While they're talking, Sakura heads to Ino's flower shop again to get some flowers for Lee, and Ino joins her, getting some fruit for Choji. But after Sakura leaves Lee's room, guess who shows up there? Gaara. Yep, he's been troubled ever since he saw how much Guy cared about Lee, and he's here to finish him off for good.
But why? He failed. Why save him?
He's about to use the sand coffin on him, but Shikamaru stops him with his shadow possession jutsu just in time. They ask him what the hell he's doing, and Gaara's answer is simple. He's killing Lee. Why? Because he wants to. Naruto tries to scare him off, saying he has a monster in him, but Gaara is unfazed, saying he has a monster inside of him too. We then finally find out what his deal is. Before he was even born, his father, the Kazekage, trapped a sand spirit called Shukaku inside of him. Then during his birth, Gaara's mother passed away. Then after his birth, he was feared by everybody. So much so that his father has been trying to have him killed since he was 6 years old. Hearing this story, Naruto realizes he is the same as Gaara. The only difference is that he had Iruka-sensei to help him turn out alright. But Gaara has no one. Because of this, he's an emotionless monster with a throat for blood. Gaara then breaks free from the shadow possession and is about to end all 3 of them, but Guy-sensei shows up at the perfect time yet again and saves them. Gaara leaves, but not before saying that he's going to kill them all. Yikes, brother, you really need to chill out. The following episode begins with Naruto going to get some ramen, but he's alone this time. Seeing this, the shop owners give him one huge bowl to congratulate him for making it to the final exam. But after that, it's back to being alone. In fact, the poor kid spends the entire evening before the match completely on his own. He tries to catch some sleep at night, but he can't because he's too nervous. And it's easy to see why. He's a massive underdog against Neji, and everybody knows it. To calm his nerves, he goes to the forest where Iruka-sensei made him a genin, and runs into Hinata. There, they have a super wholesome exchange, and Hinata helps Naruto get his groove back.
Thought you were,
What?
gloomy, timid, always terrified, and basically completely weird.
But then the fireworks start, and he realizes that he's late, so he's got to run to get there. Now, super late, Naruto thinks he's not going to make it. Luckily, he runs into Konohamaru, who says he knows a secret path, only to find out that it's been blocked. But he says he knows another secret path, which takes Naruto to the hot springs, even further away from the arena that he was before. And then Konohamaru gives his final idea: riding a bull. Seems like a flawless plan until the bull starts chasing Naruto. Great job, Konohamaru. Soon, about 50 bulls are chasing Naruto, and the sheer fear of them making him reach the arena just in time. But when he gets there, all jokes are over. It's time for fighting. When Naruto gets there, he realizes that Sasuke hasn't made it yet, and neither has Dosu. Dosu isn't here because he's dead. But where's Sasuke? Well, wherever he is, he better make it there by the time the match starts, or he'll be disqualified. Meanwhile, the proctor explains that the rules are the same as the preliminaries. Everything goes, and the match ends when he says it's over. With that explained, we move on to the first matchup, Naruto versus Neji. People in the crowd give Naruto absolutely no chance. But Kiba knows better than to underestimate him. He thinks that Neji is in for a surprise. Before the match, Naruto reiterates his promise to beat Neji, and for some customary trash talk, the fight begins with a little stare down. Soon enough, Naruto goes right after Neji, but it's a bad plan. Neji is the master of taijutsu, and immediately puts the smackdown on Naruto. Naruto then realizes that fighting Neji up close is not an option, because he can see his chakra points and attack them with his Byakugan. However, after getting smacked a couple of times, he comes up with a strategy: shadow clones with the same chakra output. So even Neji's Byakugan can't tell which is the real one. Still, while it's a pretty good plan, it's not enough. Neji's able to fight them all off, before turning around and telling Naruto he can never be Hokage. According to him, being Hokage is destiny. It's not for the likes of Naruto. The next episode starts with Kabuto taking out a member of the Anbu Black Ops, before taking his gear. Man, this guy's up to no good. We then cut back to Naruto throwing about 100 shadow clones at Neji, but Neji sees right through the plan, and finds the real Naruto striking him. Or so he thinks. In reality, it was a trap set by Naruto, as he jumps in to catch Neji off guard. But Neji uses his defense technique, 8 trigrams palms rotation. After he successfully blocks him, he brings out his own super move, 8 trigrams 64 palms. With it, he targets every single chakra point on Naruto's body and absolutely smokes him. Literally every person in the arena thinks it's completely over for Naruto.
4 palms! 8 palms! 16 palms!
And even Neji says he won't be able to move. But, and stop me if you've heard this before, Naruto gets back on his feet. Naruto hates Neji for being so judgmental, so Neji explains why he believes in destiny so much. His relation to Hinata is that their fathers were brothers, twins actually, but since Hinata's dad was born a few seconds earlier, he became a member of the head family, and Neji's dad became part of the branch family. When Hinata reached the age of 3, Neji was branded with the curse mark and given the duty of protecting her with his life. At first, Neji was happy with this, until he saw what the curse mark is really, torturing the branch family members if they step out of line. But that's just where it all began. The breaking point was when someone from the Lightning Village tried kidnapping Hinata, but Hinata's dad saved her. The Lightning Village then refused to take responsibility and threatened war unless the Leaf agreed to their terms. What were their terms, you ask? The death of the head of the Hyuga clan for making the accusation. If that sounds like bullshit, that's because it is. But you know what they did? They took Neji's father, who was an identical twin to the head of the family, and killed him instead. With the curse mark disappearing at death, the Lightning Village was satisfied, and peace was maintained. But all that shallow stuff came at the price of Neji's father, and all because he was born a minute later. That's why Neji believes in destiny so much. Because his destiny cursed him, and he can't change it. It's one of the most heartbreaking episodes in all of Naruto, and truly shows us how messed up the ninja world can really be. The next episode opens with Naruto completely disagreeing with Neji's POV. Neji thinks Naruto doesn't know what it's like to carry a burden from birth and have people judging you for it, which is rich because, well, yeah, you already know. But unlike Neji, Naruto refuses to give in to his destiny. He's going to do his best to change it and get what he wants. A small problem with that, though, Neji has hit all of his chakra points. He can't access his own chakra anymore. But that's when he remembers Jiraiya's teaching, and immediately starts pulling out the Nine-Tails chakra, and everyone in the stadium, including the Hokage himself, is shocked. With his newfound strength, Naruto takes Neji head-on in close combat.
It's not possible!
What's more, he's really fast now. He's giving Neji the business. They have a clash, and there's a big explosion. When the dust settles, there are 2 craters in the ground. Neji crawls out of his crater and goes to see Naruto passed out in his. He's about to start yapping again, but that's when the ground under him starts cracking, and out pops Naruto, giving him the most disgusting uppercut of all time. The Naruto in the crater was, yeah, you guessed it, a shadow clone. Naruto dug his way underground so he could ambush Neji, and it worked. Neji falls flat on his back. The punch was just too much. He can't move. Naruto then tells Neji how he failed the graduation exam 3 times, and since even a failure like him can overcome his hardships, someone as talented as Neji could never give in to the will of destiny. Wow. No, I'm not crying, I just have something stuck in my eye. The next episode opens with Naruto taking his victory lap. For years, he's been putting in the work and gotten no recognition for it. But now, for the very first time, he's being acknowledged by the village folk as a winner, and he's loving every second of it. Meanwhile, Neji gets stretchered off and is resting in the infirmary. That's when Hinata's dad, aka the head of the Hyuga clan, walks in and tells the nurses to leave. He then gives Neji a scroll that his father wrote. In it, his father writes how he chose to die in his brother's place. He did it to uphold the peace, and also because it was the only way to escape his fate and get one up on destiny. To end the letter, he tells Neji to do the same. Fight against destiny. The head of the Hyuga clan then gets on his knees and apologizes to Neji. After he leaves, Neji cries with a smile on his face. Naruto's words and his dad's scroll have changed his mind. He's going to start fighting back against destiny. Wow. Man, this show just really hits me in the feels. It's so lovely.
I have defied the fate of the Hyuga family. I simply wanted to choose my own destiny.
With that out of the way, it's time for the most hyped match of the entire exam. Sasuke versus Gaara. But just because it's time doesn't mean it's happening, because Sasuke still hasn't shown up and the crowd is getting impatient. The Hokage decides that with the threat of Orochimaru, the only sensible thing to do is to disqualify Sasuke. But the Kazekage says he should consider postponing the match. After all, it's the one that most people are there to watch. So the Hokage makes an exception and tells them to make the next match happen. One problem with that, Kankuro is up next and he doesn't want to reveal his technique. In case you guys forgot, the Sand Village is planning to attack the Leaf Village, so he forfeits his match against Shino, and the crowd hates it. It's so bad that Temari has no choice but to go through with her match against Shikamaru. Now, Shikamaru himself considers quitting, but Naruto pushes him into the arena, wishing him good luck. He has no choice. He has to fight. As Shikamaru would put it himself, what a drag. The episode opens with Shikamaru lying on his butt, as the spectators start throwing trash in the arena. They wanted to see Sasuke versus Gaara. Meanwhile, Shikamaru is wondering why his opponent is a girl. Oh good, casual sexism. Anyway, Temari isn't happy with Shikamaru's laziness and decides to start the fight herself. Shikamaru dodges her attacks and makes his way to the shadows, where he almost manages to catch Temari. But he's out of luck. His shadow possession jutsu doesn't have the range to get her. Now Temari knows his range and can spam long-range attacks. Looks like Shikamaru's cornered. But that's when we see his sensei, Asuma, talking to Kurenai's sensei. As the fight goes on, he tells us about Shikamaru. He basically says that Shikamaru is extremely lazy and unmotivated. The guy wishes he could be a cloud for God's sake.
Go for it, Shikamaru! Use a super ultimate technique on her and take that bitch down!
But make no mistake about it. With an IQ of over 200, he's the ultimate strategist. A pure genius. But Temari's not waiting for him to cook up his strategy. She goes on the offensive. She begins launching attack after attack, and Shikamaru hides behind a tree. But when the dust settles, he launches his shadow possession jutsu again. Now, some time has passed since the start of their match. That means the shadows in the arena are longer, and his range has increased, but just by a bit. That's when we see he's not wearing his jacket. Why? Well, he turned it into a parachute to use its shadow to attack Temari. While that's pretty damn smart, he still can't catch her. Temari puts her fan down in front of her as protection and wonders what she should do next. When she realizes she can't move her body, Shikamaru got her. But how? Shikamaru lets her turn her head around to see where she's standing, right in front of the hole Naruto popped out of. Shikamaru went underground and used her blind spot to trick her. It looks like he's won, but that's when Shikamaru forfeits? What? He says he doesn't have any chakra left, and competing in one match is enough for him. With that, the match is over, and Temari wins. Although, I doubt she feels much like a winner. Before going to the next episode, I need to point out, the Chunin exams aren't necessarily win or pass. What that means is someone can lose and still become a Chunin in the final exam. While someone can win and not be a Chunin, it's all up to the judges, and whether they think that Shinobi deserves to be a Chunin or not. But Naruto doesn't give us a rat's ass about all that, and immediately starts tearing into Shikamaru for giving up the match.
Man, that really ticks me off! That lazy son of a... I'm gonna give him a piece of my mind!
But Shikamaru isn't too bothered, and says they should focus on the next match, Sasuke versus Gaara. But Sasuke isn't there. The Hokage really thinks they should cancel it, but the Kazekage insists on a 10-minute wait. When the 10 minutes pass, the proctor is about to cancel the match. But at the literal last second, Sasuke and Kakashi show up. Bunch of show-offs, I love them.
I told you he'd come.
After showing up, Kakashi apologizes for their shenanigans and finds out Sasuke hasn't been disqualified. Meanwhile, Sasuke catches up with Naruto and asks if he won his match. And when Naruto says he did, the smile on Sasuke's face says it all. These guys are proper friends. And even more than that, they're looking forward to fighting each other the most. The crowd is booming now, so Shikamaru and Naruto get out of the arena as Gaara makes his way down. But on his way down, two random shinobi working for a feudal lord try to stop Gaara from participating. Their lord has a bet on him losing. So Gaara mercilessly ends their lives in a scene straight out of a Conjuring movie, as Naruto and Shikamaru watch on in horror. The next episode opens with Kakashi meeting up with Sakura and the rest of our buddies tuning into the match. Sakura is super worried about Sasuke's curse mark, but Kakashi says there's nothing to worry about. While that's happening, Naruto and Shikamaru are sitting on the stairs, shook to the core by what they just saw. Meanwhile, Sasuke and Gaara's fight begins, and Gaara starts tweaking, talking to voices in his head before they start fighting for real. Gaara makes a sand clone, and Sasuke takes it down before going at Gaara. Gaara's sand shield is up, but Sasuke starts mimicking Lee's movements and manages to get a hit in on Gaara's secondary defense layer. Now that's the second time Sasuke has stolen Lee's whole flow, word for word and bar for bar. Somebody's gotta stop this. While that's happening, Akamaru recognizes one of the Anbu Black Ops members as Kabuto, so Kabuto knocks them out to avoid being caught. Back in the fight, Sasuke has enrolled in the Rock Lee school of giving Gaara the business. Kakashi even says Sasuke straight up copied Lee. That's how effective Lee was. With Sasuke being so fast, Gaara retreats into a big sandball. Sasuke tries attacking it, but almost gets impaled and backs off. Temari and Kankuro, meanwhile, are terrified. They know what Gaara's planning to do, and they do not like it. The episode then ends with Gaara inside his sandball, cooking up something absolutely devious. Episode 67 opens with Kakashi telling Naruto that there's nothing to worry about. He and Sasuke didn't get there late for no reason. Meanwhile, Sasuke tries attacking the ball, but can't get past it, no matter what he does. Outside the arena, the Anbu are patrolling, looking for any signs of danger. But they really suck at their job because they miss about 50 Sand and Sound Village shinobi in the same place. While all that's going on, Sakura asks Kakashi what Sasuke's up to, but he just tells her and everyone else to focus on the match. Outside the arena, the Sound Shinobi are beginning their plan to attack the Leaf Village totally undetected. Back inside, and we see lightning starting to spray out of Sasuke's hand. Yeah, that's right. Kakashi taught Sasuke the Chidori, and he learned it in a month. This kid's unbelievable. With it, he manages to impale Gaara's unbreakable guard, and everybody is shocked.
He's really mastered that technique already? So, this is what the Uchiha are capable of.
Meanwhile, all the enemies of the Leaf Village are ready outside of the arena, and they're waiting for the signal from the Kazekage to attack. Inside the sandball, Gaara realizes that for the first time in his life, he's bleeding, and he starts freaking out. Sasuke can't pull his arm out, so he uses the Chidori again. But when he does pull it out, it's not Gaara's arm that comes out, it's the hand of a monster. The sand breaks around Gaara, and everyone sees him hurt. Meanwhile, a genjutsu is cast on the entire crowd, putting most people asleep, save for Kakashi, Guy, and the other high-level ninjas. That was the signal. The Sound and the Sand Village ninjas begin their attack, with Naruto out cold. The next episode starts with the attack fully underway. Kakashi and Guy try to get to the Hokage, but the Anbu are way ahead of them. That's when the Kazekage grabs the Hokage from behind and puts a kunai to his neck. 4 Sound ninjas show up and form a barrier around the Hokage and the Kazekage. No one can get in. Meanwhile, the shinobi outside the arena summon a giant 3-headed snake which starts attacking the village.
You're not getting into this village!
But all of this is just a sideshow. The Sand's real weapon is Gaara. Unfortunately for them, he's hurt and is hell-bent on killing Sasuke. Temari and Kankuro retreat with Gaara, and the proctor for the exam takes on their Jonin while Sasuke goes after them. Back with the Hokage, the Kazekage removes his mask to reveal that it was Orochimaru all along. He's been coordinating both the Sand and the Sound villages, and now they're attacking the Leaf Village head-on. As the Leaf tries to fight off the invaders, Kakashi and Guy start taking out the enemies inside the arena. And the skill gap is pretty obvious. These guys are absolute monsters. Kakashi then tells Sakura, who wasn't taken out by the genjutsu, to wake Shikamaru and Naruto up. They have another A-rank mission on their hands. The episode opens with Kakashi summoning a dog named Pakun to lead Naruto, Sakura, and Shikamaru to Sasuke. While that's happening, the fight between the Hokage and Orochimaru begins. We also learn from their dialogue that Orochimaru used to be the Hokage's student, and he hates him because he didn't pick Orochimaru to be his successor. So not only is he here for Sasuke, but he's after some sweet revenge too. And as the fight continues, Sasuke keeps chasing Gaara. With the warm-up out of the way, both Orochimaru and Hokage get serious. Orochimaru tries summoning 3 people with the reanimation jutsu. Simply put, that jutsu lets you reanimate dead people. And who does this monster summon? Nothing crazy, just all 3 of the dead Hokage. The third manages to stop the 4th Hokage from being summoned, but that still means he's in a 3v1. The first Hokage, the second Hokage, and Orochimaru versus the 3rd Hokage. That's just plain unfair. As the first and the second come out of their coffins, they greet the third as a friend, and immediately realize they've been summoned to fight him as an enemy. If you're not familiar with the show, you might be wondering why they're such a big deal. Well, it's because those 2 were the people who built the Leaf Village into what it is today. Not only that, but they're also 2 of the strongest shinobi of all time. It's like Carlos Alcaraz summoning Prime Federer and Nadal to take on Djokovic. Meanwhile, Naruto, Sakura, Shikamaru, and Pakun are chasing Sasuke and Gaara. But what they don't know is Kabuto has sent some sound shinobi to hunt down Naruto. Yeah, things are looking rough for the good guys. The following episode opens with Pakun figuring out that they're being chased. So Naruto and his friends backtrack on their steps to make it look like they disappeared into thin air. The plan doesn't really work. They're still being hunted. Naruto says they should ambush them, but Shikamaru says that it wouldn't work. The guys chasing them are way too skilled. They only have one choice. One person stays behind to fake an ambush, while the others get away. Shikamaru says it has to be him. He's the only one who's a chance of surviving. Naruto and Sakura are shocked. Shikamaru doesn't really seem the self-sacrificing type, but he stays behind all the same. He might be lazy, but he is a damn good shinobi. As Naruto, Sakura, and Pakun make their escape, Shikamaru manages to lead their chasers the wrong way, and captures them all with his shadow possession. Unfortunately though, he's been through a lot today. Because of this, his chakra is really depleted. He keeps them still for as long as he can, but his jutsu gives out. As his attacker jumps in, Shikamaru makes peace with his death. But we have a lot of Naruto to go. This guy isn't biting the dust just yet. So that's when his good old teacher jumps in and absolutely whoops 9 sound shinobi on his own, saving Shikamaru's skin. Why is every Jonin from the Leaf such a badass? To end the episode, we see the third Hokage stare down Orochimaru and the first 2 Hokages. Ooh, it's about to go down. Episode 71 opens with the 2 Hokages being brought back to their prime forms, and it brings the third Hokage to tears. Then the fight begins, and the reanimated Hokage start giving him the business. The first throws some devastating punches before the second takes him underwater. He manages to get out, only to face the first legendary wood-style jutsu. He's trapped now. This looks bad. As all this happens, the third summons Monkey King Enma, a badass old monkey that transforms into a giant staff.
You fool, Saratobi. You should have killed him when you had the chance.
Using it, the third starts fighting back against all 3 of them and even manages to slap a paper bomb on the other Hokages. But then Orochimaru gives him a Muhammad Ali combo and puts him on his butt. The monkey staff asks the third why he's not fighting like he usually does, but the answer is obvious. He's fighting both his teachers and his student. That shit's gonna break your heart. Still, the monkey's words are enough to make him lock in. He fights back against Orochimaru and blows the paper bombs on the Hokages. One problem with that. Their exploded body parts grow back. To stop them, he's gonna have to get rid of their souls. And Orochimaru reveals a horrifying truth. He's figured out how to transfer between bodies to stay young forever.
It can't be. Then you've mastered even that forbidden jutsu?
Meanwhile, Sasuke is finally caught up to Gaara and his team. I guess it's all coming together. The next episode opens with Temari trying to distract Sasuke, while Kankuro takes Gaara to safety. Temari puts up a decent fight and even thinks she's got Sasuke at one point. But one substitution jutsu and paper bomb later, Temari's down, and Sasuke continues chasing Gaara. Back with the Hokage, he reveals that Orochimaru's pursuit for immortality is the exact reason he didn't name him Hokage after himself. So how does Orochimaru stay immortal? Simple. He transfers his being into another body, lives that lifespan out, and then does the same. And that's why he wants Sasuke, so he can take his body for himself. This guy is pure evil. And yeah, I'm afraid. The third then has a flashback to the time that he had a chance to stop Orochimaru all those years ago. He always sensed a darkness within him, but he ignored it. And when he had a chance to kill him, his love for him as a student completely stopped him. But now he realizes his mistakes and decides to take him down once and for all. And so he, and this is no exaggeration whatsoever, summons the Grim Reaper to take him down. I know Orochimaru was there like,
Is that the Grim Reaper?
The next episode opens with the third Hokage using 2 shadow clones and the Grim Reaper jutsu to seal away the first 2 Hokages. It's a 1v1 now.
Forgive us, Saratobi.
After that, he jumps in to seal Orochimaru too and begins the jutsu. Orochimaru is stuck, so he summons his sword in to stop him. Meanwhile, the 3-headed snake is terrorizing the village and it looks like it can't be stopped. That is until a massive frog appears on one of the heads and takes it out. That's right, Jiraiya is here, and he's joined the fight. Meanwhile, the third Hokage explains the jutsu to Orochimaru. Basically, it seals the souls of the person who's using it and the person that it's used on, inside the stomach of the Grim Reaper, where they fight each other for all of eternity. But Orochimaru isn't going down that easily, and he starts pushing his sword deeper inside the third, trying to end him before he can complete the sealing.
You old fool! Do you really think I'll just stand here like a frightened child and do nothing?
While that's happening, Sasuke catches Kankuro and Gaara, while Temari catches up as well. Naruto, Sakura, and Pakun are still a little behind. Kankuro tells Temari to escape with Gaara while he holds off Sasuke, but that's when Shino shows up. He tells Sasuke to keep going after Gaara. After all, Kankuro was his opponent in the tournament, and he wants to finish their fight. The following episode opens with Naruto, Pakun, and Sakura changing their route towards Sasuke, since Shino and Kankuro are fighting. Speaking of those two, their fight begins, and Kankuro shows his puppet, the crow. Ooh, it's a doozy. Sasuke finally catches up to Gaara and Temari and thinks it's time for a good beatdown on Gaara, until he starts tweaking out again, and this time he starts transforming into a monster. Iruka-sensei takes all of his students to safety as the fighting continues in the village. The third and Orochimaru are still struggling, trying to get the other down. Meanwhile, Shino and Kankuro are fighting, and while Kankuro's puppet is pretty fearsome, Shino's smarts and his strategic use of his bugs is just too much. Even though Kankuro manages to poison Shino, Shino uses his bugs to take out the puppet first, before taking down Kankuro. They both pass out. And well, the battle ends in a stalemate.
But how? These stinking beetles.
Meanwhile, Gaara is half monster now, and is hunting down Sasuke. calling him his prey and wreaking havoc everywhere. This is not looking good. Episode 75 kicks off with Gaara's all-out assault on Sasuke, and he's getting flashbacks of his childhood. As you can imagine, he was treated a lot like Naruto, shunned, with no friends, and treated like a monster. He then thinks back to his conversation with Sasuke earlier, where he told him to be prepared for a death match whenever they fight.
As I said before, we have the same eyes. Eyes with a hunger for power.
And as Sasuke charges his Chidori and Gaara prepares to attack, it looks like that deathmatch is here. As the Hokage and Orochimaru are still struggling, Sasuke tears through Gaara with his Chidori. But Gaara just laughs the head off and grows a tail. Though Sasuke's limit is supposed to be 2 Chidoris in a day, he goes for a third and awakens the power of the curse mark. It completely takes him out, and he is at Gaara's mercy. But at that exact moment, Naruto jumps in to punt Gaara in the face, while Sakura comes in to check on Sasuke's condition. The cavalry has arrived. The next episode opens as Temari watches on super worried as Naruto and Gaara face off. Meanwhile, Sasuke is completely cooked by using a third Chidori, even though Kakashi specifically told him to never use more than 2. Gaara goes after Sasuke again, but Sakura jumps in the way and tanks a big hit. Unfortunately for Gaara, that show of love triggers another flashback, one of his caregiver and mother's sister, Yashimaru. She taught him about pain and suffering, both physical and emotional, and also taught him what love is. Little Gaara is really cute. How did he turn into a monster?
I know I'm not bleeding, but lately I've felt a lot of pain here.
Well, we find out it's because everybody treated him like one. Even when he tried apologizing for his mistakes and making up for them, everyone still looked at him like a freak. It breaks his heart, and he's crying on a roof when an assassin tries to kill him. And when he takes the mask off, the assassin is none other than Yashimaru. Now, that is really messed up. No wonder he lost his mind. And with the flashback done, the fight between him and Naruto is on. But as the next episode starts, Naruto seems out of his depth. Gaara is a literal monster, and he's slapping Naruto around. And that's when we get the final piece of why Gaara is the way that he is. Not only was his dad the one that commissioned the hit on him, but Yashimaru hated him anyway. She then tries to blow him up in a big explosion, but his sand saves him. And that was the final straw in turning Gaara into a monster. Naruto tries summoning the chief toad Gamabunta and fighting him, but can only muster a small frog named Gamakichi. He's so weak that Naruto has to save him instead.
What is it? What do you want, kid? Well, whatever it is, I hope you brought along some treats. Because if you think I'm doing anything for nothing, you're wrong.
Meanwhile, Gaara almost completely turns into a monster. Naruto knows Gaara is the same as him, hated by all. But when Naruto had Haruka and Kakashi Sensei, as well as Sakura and Sasuke, Gaara had no one. And that's exactly why he needs to save Gaara. Because even though Gaara thinks that he's a monster, he can still be saved. Unfortunately though, to save him, he needs to beat him first. And he's getting his ass beat right now. Naruto still isn't fazed though. He's gonna save his teammates, the village, and Gaara, no matter what. The next episode starts with Naruto's shadow clones taking on Gaara, and he uses Kakashi's 1,000 Years of Death on Gaara. Come on. Well, it turns out he stuck a kunai with a paper bomb on him, and he manages to do some damage. Sasuke tells Naruto to save Sakura and make a run for it. He doesn't want his friends to die. But this is Naruto. He's not running from anything. And so he summons a whole bunch of shadow clones and tells Sasuke to sit this one out before unleashing a fresh can of whoop-ass on Gaara. But the thought of losing to Naruto sends Gaara over the edge, and the demon inside of him is finally released. This is Shukaku in his true form, and he is massive. Naruto's about to get sand coffined, but he summons Gamabunta just in time. Now it's Big Sand Dog versus Big Smoking Frog. Naruto tells Gamabunta he needs help, but Gamabunta isn't having it. He knows what Shukaku is, and he doesn't want to fight him for Naruto. But that's when Gamakichi jumps in. Turns out, he's Gamabunta's son, and he tells Gamabunta how Naruto saved his life. After hearing this, the huge frog immediately draws his sword, and dog versus frog begins.
You already told me you would make me your henchman, didn't you? It's only natural a boss would want to help out his henchmen, isn't it? Don't you have any sense of duty?
Gaara emerges from the top of Shukaku's head. Gamabunta explains that Gaara doesn't sleep at all. If he did, Shukaku would overtake his personality. So he spent most of his life staying awake, and that's when Gaara finally falls asleep, letting Shukaku come out in full. They start their fight, and the sheer scale of their battle shakes Sasuke to his core. Meanwhile, Naruto says Gamabunta needs to hold down Shukaku so he can get through to Gaara. One problem though. He doesn't have any claws or fangs to keep Shukaku down, so he asks Naruto to transform him into something with fangs and claws. And guess what reference Naruto has? Yeah. Naruto transforms Gamabunta into the nine-tailed fox. That's so cool. The next episode opens with Gamabunta in Nine-Tails form trying to hold down Shukaku. It takes some effort, but Naruto manages to punch Gaara and wake him up. But Gaara traps him in his sand and he's stuck. Meanwhile, the Hokage and Orochimaru are still struggling at death's door. And Orochimaru is shocked at how the Hokage is still going. But it's not chakra that's keeping him going, it's his will to protect the Leaf Village. After all, they're all his family. Meanwhile, the sane shinobi in the village are wondering why they faced almost no resistance, and why they can't find any women or children. Well, that's because Anko and Aruka evacuated everybody safely. And with the evacuation complete, the Leaf Village starts its counterattack. All the Jonin start taking on groups of enemy shinobi, including the parents of Hinata, Ino, Shikamaru, and Choji.
Come on, fellas. You've never heard of the shadow paralysis jutsu?
Meanwhile, Naruto uses the power of the Nine-Tails to break free from the sand, and he headbutts Gaara. It works too. Shukaku is gone. While all that is going on, the Hokage realizes he can't take Orochimaru's whole soul with him. So he does the next best thing. He takes his arms, meaning he can't use any jutsu anymore. As Naruto and Gaara jump at each other and trade one last blow, the third Hokage takes his last breath and falls. It's a sad, sad day for the Leaf Village. They just lost the head of their family. In the following episode, Orochimaru's goons witness that he can't use his hands anymore, and realize they're absolutely cooked. So they release the barrier and grab him, making an escape. Kabuto and the Sand Jonin do the same, leaving Kakashi frustrated at Kabuto's getting away again.
Are you gonna run away from me again?
That would be too obvious.
Meanwhile, Temari finds an injured Kankuro, and Sakura is freed from her sand prison. At this point, Gaara is shocked. How in the world could someone like Naruto beat him? Desperate for an explanation, Gaara asks Naruto why he's so strong. So Naruto drags himself toward Gaara and tells him it's because he has people that he loves. He fights for them. That's why he's so strong. Sasuke arrives and tells him that Sakura is safe, and with that, Naruto passes out. Meanwhile, Kankuro and Temari get Gaara and hot-footed out of there, but a very strange thing happens on their way back. Gaara apologizes. Looks like Naruto's words have gotten through to another enemy.
I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it.
While all that's happening, back at the arena, the Jonin slowly surround the body of the deceased Hokage. Naruto wakes up the next day, thinking about the Hokage, and then he puts on his funeral clothes. The whole village comes together to pay their respects to the legend that was the Hokage, as well as the other people who passed. Konohamaru is crying, and it seems like the sky itself is crying. Aruka is also devastated, as he remembers how kind the Hokage was to him when his parents died, and he shows the same love to Konohamaru. Kakashi is also visiting a grave, that of his friend Obito, while Jiraiya watches in the distance, thinking about the good old days when the Hokage was just his teacher.
Never show your feelings. Keep your mind focused on your mission, no matter what.
Back at the funeral, everybody mourns the Hokage's death, but it's not all doom and gloom. The will of fire that the Hokage spoke of burns bright in the youth of the village, and it will protect the village for years to come. The episode ends with two mysterious men looking over the village, and we see that one of them has the Sharingan. Sasuke's big brother Itachi is back in town. The next episode opens with Sasuke and Naruto individually training hard early in the morning. Sasuke's then summoned by Kakashi while Naruto heads off to have his favorite breakfast, ramen. Seriously, this kid needs a better diet plan. We then get a quick cut to the Sans Shinobi finding out their real Kazekage has been dead for a very long time, that Orochimaru was tricking them into doing his bidding. We also see Orochimaru and how much pain he's in without the use of his hands. Meanwhile, Naruto runs into Konohamaru, who's looking at his grandfather's statue and is super sad. He and Naruto have a wholesome conversation about the Hokage and how hard the Leaf Village is working to build itself back.
So you'll have to do enough training for both of us, okay, Naruto? Because if you slack off, I'll make it to Hokage before you.
Meanwhile, Itachi and the other mysterious man are making their way through the village looking for somebody. Elsewhere, Jiraiya is doing his usual perverted shenanigans when the village elders approach him. They want him to be Hokage, but Jiraiya declines. He says there's only one more person who's better suited to the job. You see, Jiraiya and Orochimaru were teammates under the Third Hokage, but they had one more teammate, Lady Tsunade, and Jiraiya thinks that she's better suited to the job. The only problem is nobody knows where she is, but Jiraiya says that he'll find her, under one condition. He gets to bring Naruto with him. I don't know about you, but I smell adventure. While Naruto tries finding his free ramen coupon at the ramen shop, Sasuke meets up with Kakashi, who's on time for once. He also sees Kurenai and Asuma, and they're all standing outside a shop. Inside are Itachi and his mysterious partner, but they leave before Sasuke can see them. But they both take Kakashi's hint and go after them.
You two seem to be getting along.
Idiot. Anko just asked me to pick up some rice dumplings for her.
The senseis then realize one of them is Itachi and the other introduces himself as Kisame, an S-rank criminal from the Hidden Mist, the same village as Zabuza. Itachi tells Kurenai and Asuma to leave them be, but they're not budging, so they begin to fight. Kisame looks to be getting the better of Asuma until Kurenai puts both of them in a genjutsu. Unfortunately, Itachi is a master of genjutsu and reverses it back on her. She barely escapes in time to survive, and Itachi has her cornered. But that's when Kakashi shows up behind him ready to throw down. All of this is going on, Naruto has found his coupon and is enjoying his ramen when Jiraiya shows up. The next episode starts with Sasuke going down a dark set of stairs and Jiraiya convincing Naruto to go on the trip to find Tsunade. Naruto doesn't want to go, but when Jiraiya says that he'll teach him a jutsu even stronger than the Chidori, he's sold.
Maybe I'll just see if Sasuke wants to come.
Right! When do we leave?
We also see where Sasuke was going, to the grave of his parents. Meanwhile, Kakashi and Itachi start fighting as Naruto packs for his trip. Itachi says he's had enough of the games and brings out the big guns, the Mangekyo Sharingan. It's a souped-up version of the regular Sharingan and holds a special ability, Tsukuyomi, a devastating genjutsu. Kakashi tells Kurenai and Asuma to close their eyes. Only someone with the Sharingan can hope to beat it. But it turns out that even Kakashi can't hold off its power. Inside the Tsukuyomi, Itachi tortures Kakashi for what feels like 72 hours in the blink of an eye. It's horrific, and shows just how big the gap between the two really is.
Only 71 hours, 59 minutes, and 59 seconds to go.
When it's over, Kakashi drops to his knees. He might be an incredible shinobi, but against Itachi, he's utterly powerless. He asks Itachi if he's here for Sasuke, but he isn't. He's actually here for Naruto. Kakashi then recalls a conversation they had with Jiraiya about the organization Itachi's working with. It's called the Akatsuki, and it's made up of 9 S-rank criminal shinobi. Well, it was until Orochimaru pulled out of the organization. Now, Jiraiya didn't know what they were up to, but he knew that Naruto having the Nine Tails in him makes him a target, and so he wanted to take Naruto completely under his care. Seeing Kakashi knows too much, Itachi tells Kisame to kill the other two while they take him away. But before Kisame can, Guy shows up and kicks him like a football. Kakashi passes out, so Guy hands him over to Kurenai and tells Asuma to get ready for battle. But Itachi tells him they didn't come here for war, so they retreat. And the episode ends with Naruto and Jiraiya leaving the village, beginning their journey to find Tsunade. The following episode opens with Naruto and Jiraiya making their way towards Tsunade. Naruto asks Jiraiya why he's taking him along on the trip, and Jiraiya says it's because Naruto reminds him a lot of the Fourth Hokage, who is Jiraiya's student. Put a pin in that for later, Jartoon viewers, it might be important. Meanwhile, Sakura takes some sweets over to Ino's house, and remembers Sasuke telling her how hard Naruto fought to rescue her from Gaara. Meanwhile, Sasuke is frustrated at how much stronger Naruto has gotten, and is training non-stop to catch up with him. Back with Itachi and Kisame, they're surprised to see Jiraiya is with Naruto. Kisame says he has no shot against Jiraiya. Hell, even Itachi says that the best case scenario for him is that they both end up killing each other. Still, he says that even someone like Jiraiya has weaknesses.
If we fight him, then both the Uchiha clan and the 7 swordsmen of the mist will have their names dragged through the mud.
Meanwhile, Jiraiya and Naruto get to know each other a little better, and he realizes that Naruto is a lot like him. They even made the same mistakes during his bell exercise as a genin when the Third Hokage was his teacher.
Ah, just shut up, you flat-chested cutting board! What did you say?
Back at the Leaf Village, Guy, Kurenai, and Asuma are tending to an injured Kakashi when Sasuke walks in and asks them what's up. They're not telling him anything, but that's when another shinobi walks in and spills the beans. Enraged at Itachi being back and wondering why he's after Naruto, Sasuke starts going after Naruto and Jiraiya. Meanwhile, Jiraiya sees a pretty lady and sends Naruto to their room to practice chakra control while he does his usual perverted nonsense. As that happens, Sasuke looks for Naruto all over town. Just as Naruto gets tired, Sasuke finds their hotel and gets the room number. There's a knock on Naruto's door, and he opens it. Naruto opens his door to find an Uchiha, but it's not Sasuke, it's his brother. Sasuke was at the wrong hotel, and now Naruto is staring directly into the Sharingan of Itachi Uchiha. Oh no. Episode 84 opens with Naruto staring at Itachi and his Sharingan, realizing it's the same eye as Sasuke. Kisame shows up too, and Itachi tells Naruto he has to come with them. Meanwhile, Sasuke is still looking for Naruto, and he has a flashback of his childhood with Itachi. He wasn't always a dark, brooding kid. He used to be normal. He wanted to spend time with his older brother. From his flashback, we also learn that Itachi has been a badass since he was a child. He made Chunin at the age of 10 and was a leader of an Anbu Black Ops division by 13. Sasuke seems to be living in his brother's shadow, but is determined to be just as good a shinobi as he is. That is, until he returns home one night to see every single Uchiha has been murdered, including his parents. Who did this? It was Itachi. He proceeds to show the murders to Sasuke in his Tsukuyomi, bringing him to his knees. Itachi says he did it to test his skills, which makes Sasuke furious. He tries attacking Itachi, but gets beat down. He runs away in fear, but Itachi says he won't kill him because he's too weak. He then says that if Sasuke ever wants revenge on him, he should keep hating him and keep growing stronger. Back in modern day, Sasuke has a smile on his face. He's finally about to get revenge. As Naruto steps out the door, Kisame says he should chop off one of Naruto's legs to make sure he doesn't run off. But that's when Sasuke shows up and immediately goes for a Chidori on Itachi. But this guy is on a different level and just swats Sasuke away like he's a mosquito before breaking his arm. Naruto tries summoning the Nine-Tails chakra, but Kisame's sword eats his chakra and is about to come down on Naruto. Until Jiraiya shows up. Turns out the girl he was with was sent by Itachi and Kisame, but he's not fooled that easily. But the next episode opens with Naruto saying that Jiraiya was fooled that easily, and that he's just doing some face-saving right now. Then Naruto finds out that the Akatsuki are after him, and he's confused as hell. Meanwhile, Sasuke gets up and says he's the only one who will kill Itachi, but gets kicked away again. He tries again, but gets smacked away again. Kisame blocks off Jiraiya, as Itachi starts putting a vicious beatdown on Sasuke, before saying he's weak because he doesn't hate Itachi enough.
And now finally!
He then puts him in another Tsukuyomi, showing him the death of their parents over and over again, making him pass out. Talk about lil broing someone, damn. Jiraiya is done watching, and so he puts up a jutsu to both save Sasuke and catch the Akatsuki boys. They start running from Jiraiya's jutsu, but it's faster than they are. They turn a corner and it looks like they'll be caught, but when Jiraiya catches up, he sees that his jutsu has been burned through by a certain black fire. Remember the black fire, guys? It's called Amaterasu, and it'll be important. Back with Naruto and Jiraiya, Naruto's about to touch the fire, but Jiraiya tells him to get back, and is still wondering what the hell that black fire is. He seals it away in a scroll so he can research it later. He then releases both Sasuke and the jutsu as Naruto looks over his friend, who's both physically and mentally broken. That's when Jiraiya is attacked by Guy. Don't mind him, he's just an idiot.
Using my headband to peer into the opening, all I could see were two sinister figures, so I'm gonna put an end to this right now!
Naruto wants to take the Akatsuki head on, but Jiraiya says he's weak right now, he needs to get stronger. After that, Guy takes Sasuke back to the Leaf Village to get treated, and we get a glimpse of the next Hokage. The following episode starts as Guy takes Sasuke and leaves for the Leaf Village. But before Guy leaves, he gives Naruto a gift. That obnoxious green onesie that he and Lee wear. What's worse is that Naruto actually likes it. Anyway, Naruto asks Jiraiya about Tsunade, and we get the rundown. She was Jiraiya's teammate, and is as old as he is, but she hates growing old, so she uses some jutsu to keep herself looking young. Oh, also, she's a degenerate gambler who's known for being terrible at all kinds of betting. She's so bad, she's got a nickname, the legendary Sitting Duck.
Money possesses a frightful power. This woman, Tsunade, that we're searching for has ruined herself with the pursuit of it.
They eventually make it to a bustling town with a bunch of stalls. Naruto's ready to spend big using all the money that he saved from his missions, but Jiraiya says he shouldn't spend too much. According to him, money, booze, and women are the three things that can ruin a shinobi. He gives Naruto a small sum of money and keeps his wallet, saying that he'll hang on to it. So Naruto takes the money he has and goes on a spree. He eats everything in sight and plays every game that he can find. In the end, with a little money left, he decides to get something for Jiraiya too. But when he sees him, he has spent all of Naruto's money on women and booze, breaking that golden shinobi rule in one fell swoop.
I need a refresher! What were those prohibitions of yours again? What's the matter with you? You're breaking all three in one go, you...
Naruto gets super mad at him. In his anger, Naruto ends up messing up some big shot gangster suit. When he threatens them, Jiraiya says this is the perfect time to show him the jutsu that he was talking about. Yeah, the one better than Chidori. He then proceeds to whack the gangster with a ball of chakra that sends him spinning off in the distance. It's called the Rasengan, and it's time for Naruto to learn it. The next episode starts with Naruto starting his training on water balloons. His goal is simple, he is to burst the balloon by gathering chakra in his hand. He thinks he'll get it done in a day, but Jiraiya explains that this jutsu was made by the Fourth Hokage, and it took him 3 years to master it. In fact, it's one of the hardest jutsu to master. But Naruto is determined, and so he starts his training. As the days go by, Jiraiya keeps up his perverted antics while Naruto trains hard.
Are you the guy we've heard about? The one doing research on pretty girls?
Yeah! That's right, you've heard of me?
But no matter what he does, he can't get the balloon to explode. That is, until he sees a cat playing with one of his water balloons and he gets an idea. He wakes Jiraiya up and shows him how he does it, by using 2 hands instead of just 1. With that, step 1 is complete. The second step is a lot like the first one, but harder. Instead of a water balloon, he has to burst a rubber balloon this time. So he gets to training, but Jiraiya heads off every day and he starts feeling lonely again. However, loneliness is Naruto's fuel, and he uses it to finally burst open the rubber ball. Kind of. It's actually more of a tear than a burst. It looks like Jiraiya is not all that bad, because he was watching, and he shares a double popsicle with Naruto afterwards.
It's delicious.
Then, he paints a small sign on his hand. In the following episode, Sakura is watching over a passed-out Sasuke. Orochimaru is no better shape either, with Kabuto overlooking his treatment. Meanwhile, Jiraiya explains the mark on Naruto's hand. It's to help him focus the chakra in one spot. With that advice, Naruto begins trying to make the ball explode for real instead of making a small tear in it. Elsewhere, Orochimaru starts recovering as well, even though he's in bad shape. We then also get to know why Jiraiya leaves Naruto alone, because he has to. There's no other way for Naruto to be as good as he possibly can be without learning the jutsu on his own. Meanwhile, Jiraiya starts asking around about Tsunade with a picture of her. And as it happens, Orochimaru is looking for her too. Why? Because she's a legendary healer and is the only person that can fix his arms. Soon enough, we see Tsunade actually winning big at the slot machines for once. But while her assistant is very happy, she sees it as a bad premonition. Back with Naruto, and he's completely spent by his training. Meanwhile, Tsunade is looking to leave the town as Orochimaru is about to reach it. That's when Naruto remembers a concentration lesson Iruka-sensei taught him, and he gets back at it, while Jiraiya watches him in secret. With that, he bursts the ball and masters the second step. At the same time, Orochimaru finds Tsunade sitting on his big snake. The next episode opens with Naruto learning the third step. He has to take all the awesome power he learned from the first 2 steps and learn to control it into a small space. The training is simple. He gets a regular balloon and has to learn to control the Rasengan inside it without blowing the balloon up. As you can imagine, it's really hard. Meanwhile, Orochimaru comes face to face with Tsunade and tells her he wants her to heal his arms even though she wants no part of it. As Orochimaru starts taunting her about her past, her assistant, Shizune, has had enough and attacks him. Kabuto defends Orochimaru but is surprised by her speed. She is skilled. Tsunade tells her to calm down before destroying an entire wall with one punch. She's super powerful, and she's super mad. Kabuto tries buying her services, but she's not having it and almost jumps in for the attack, until Orochimaru says he can revive her younger brother and her lover. While Naruto and Jiraiya are gathering information on Tsunade's whereabouts, Tsunade asks Orochimaru what he'll do if she fixes his hands, and he tells her the truth. He's going to destroy the Leaf Village. As Naruto and Jiraiya look at the broken castle, the townspeople tell them a giant snake destroyed it, and they realize Orochimaru must be here. Meanwhile, her assistant is trying to talk Tsunade out of the deal, but it looks like she's considering it. Kabuto gives them a week to decide, and Orochimaru reveals that he knows Tsunade's biggest fear. She's afraid of blood. With that, they retreat, and Naruto and Jiraiya arrive to find that everybody else is gone too.
What have you gotten yourself into?
Nothing really. I was just killing the Third Hokage.
Later, Tsunade is drowning her pain in booze, and Naruto and Jiraiya end up at the same bar as her. Yeah, they finally found her. There, Jiraiya tells Tsunade about the offer to become the 5th Hokage, but she refuses. It looks like she's gonna take Orochimaru up on his deal. She then calls the idea of being Hokage stupid, and that the third died because he was chasing a foolish dream. This makes Naruto furious, and he says he doesn't care if she's an old woman, he'll fight anybody who disrespects the Hokage. So she tells him they should take it outside. Tsunade challenges Naruto, saying she'll take him down with one finger, and then she actually does. She then asks him why he's so protective of the Hokage, and Naruto says it's because he wants to be a Hokage himself one day. He reminds Tsunade of her little brother and her lover, and she lowers her guard. Naruto decides this is the perfect time to unleash the Sharingan on her, and so he charges it up and comes at her. The following episode picks up with Naruto charging at Tsunade with the Sharingan, but she knocks him back. After all, his version is imperfect. Tsunade says he has no hope of mastering that jutsu, that he'll never be Hokage, but Naruto says he can master the jutsu for sure, so she makes a bet. If he can learn the jutsu in a week, she'll accept that he has what it takes to be Hokage, and give him her necklace. Why is the necklace special? Well, it belonged to the first Hokage. Naruto agrees, and their bet is on.
Lady, you've got yourself a bet.
It's always money with this kid.
Later that night, Tsunade's assistant tells Naruto that Tsunade isn't as heartless as she seems. She used to be a kind person who loved the village, but then she lost her brother in a war, and she lost the man that she loved as well. What's more, both of them wanted to be Hokage, so the idea of being the Hokage herself is just too sad. To add more to her heartbreak, her lover dies in her arms, so she's now terrified of blood. The next day, Naruto begins his training, as Jiraiya starts trying to convince Tsunade to be the 5th Hokage. He knows Orochimaru offered her a deal, though he doesn't know what it is. But he makes one thing clear. If she does anything to harm the village, Jiraiya will take her down himself.
A person who feels nothing at the death of those close to him is no different than a butcher. But you're not like that.
They then talk about Naruto, and she thinks about how similar he is to her brother. Naruto, meanwhile, spends all day training, and doesn't even come home at night, as Tsunade thinks long and hard about Orochimaru's deal. The next episode kicks off with Naruto training hard late into the night, and Tsunade gambling as usual. Meanwhile, Orochimaru is plotting and scheming on how to make Tsunade heal his arms, even if she doesn't want to. All the while, Naruto is still training as hard as possible. He hasn't even been to their hotel room for a week, and passes out in the woods, where Shizune finds him. Meanwhile, Jiraiya goes drinking with Tsunade. There, Tsunade spikes Jiraiya's drink. When she gets back to the hotel, Tsunade sees an injured Naruto with Shizune. Shizune begs her not to take Orochimaru's deal, but Tsunade just knocks her out and leaves. Wow, this looks bad. The next day, Jiraiya is passed out in the bar he and Tsunade were drinking at, because she basically roofied him. Shizune is woken up by Naruto, who's completely healed up. It's a Nine-Tails privilege. Anyway, Shizune is about to chase Tsunade, but Jiraiya shows up and demands an explanation.
I wasn't expecting to find Jiraiya the mountain sage.
So on their way after her, Shizune fills them in on Orochimaru's deal with Tsunade. Naruto and the others make their way there, as Tsunade is about to grab Orochimaru's hands, until Kabuto stops her. Is he betraying Orochimaru? No, he did it because Tsunade wasn't going to heal him. She was going to destroy him. Episode 93 starts, and Orochimaru can't believe that Tsunade won't take the deal. She says she does want to see her loved ones, even if just one more time, but she can't, because Naruto's resolve reminded her of the dream those two died for, and she won't tarnish their memory by resurrecting him. With that, the fight is on, and Tsunade's destructive power is on full display. Orochimaru reveals that one hit from her would be enough to kill him, and so they retreat, with Tsunade chasing them.
No matter, it'll be a pleasure killing you both, right now! Ugh!
Meanwhile, Naruto, Jiraiya, and Shizune are still following their trail. Kabuto then uses a medical jutsu as a weapon and begins cutting up Tsunade's muscles. But this is one of the legendary Sannin. She's not going down so easily. With her jutsu, she messes up Kabuto's nerves, now moving his arm, moves his leg instead. Kabuto is a genius himself though, so he figures out how to move even with his nervous system messed up. He's about to attack her, but Naruto and the others show up in the nick of time. But Tsunade pushes them aside and starts giving Kabuto the business, until he cuts her own hand, covering her in blood. Her fear kicks in, and she can't move, so Kabuto kicks her back. Shizune grabs her, and Tsunade is out of commission for the fight. Meanwhile, Naruto realizes Kabuto is working for Orochimaru and feels betrayed. What's more, he says Naruto has no talent. He'll never be as good as Sasuke. Naruto reacts exactly as you'd imagine. He starts fighting. Jiraiya tries stopping him, but he's still feeling the effects of being spiked.
I see you're as slow as ever, Naruto. No wonder you're no match for Sasuke.
Naruto goes at Kabuto but gets his butt beat. Jiraiya then tells Shizune to take on Kabuto, and says he'll take on Orochimaru. Two legendary Sannin going at it. This is gonna be a big one. The next episode kicks off with Jiraiya telling Naruto to protect Tsunade, while he takes on Orochimaru. Kabuto tells Orochimaru to summon his snakes, while Jiraiya tries summoning a frog, only to summon Gamakichi. Yep, Gamabunta's son. He's running low on chakra because of the drugs Tsunade gave him. So Naruto tries instead, and he summons Gamatatsu? Gamakichi's younger brother. Oh, come on.
Hey, Gamatatsu! Why did you pop out? Where's the old man?
Orochimaru and Kabuto then attack, and the two 1v1 start. Naruto gets eaten by a snake, but Jiraiya has to focus on Orochimaru. Kabuto manages to get the upper hand on Shizune, and Jiraiya is struggling against Orochimaru. With Shizune down, Kabuto starts beating up on Tsunade, who's paralyzed in fear. Orochimaru laughs at Naruto and says that he'll never be as good as Sasuke. According to him, you have to be gifted to be a ninja. But Jiraiya disagrees and says the only thing a ninja truly needs is the power to never give up. And as he says that, Naruto jumps in front of Tsunade, tanking Kabuto's punch. Naruto tries hitting Kabuto with a Rasengan, but Kabuto dodges and messes up his leg. He then starts taunting Naruto, saying he should run away. When Naruto refuses, he starts beating down on him, but Naruto pushes him back. He smacks Naruto aside again, and Tsunade asks him why he won't give up. Naruto says it's because he stands by his words. That's his ninja way. Kabuto attacks him with a kunai, but Naruto lets it cut his hand and then grabs onto him. With Kabuto unable to move, Naruto uses Shadow Clone to charge up a perfect Rasengan for the very first time, and then he blasts Kabuto with it. The following episode opens with Naruto absolutely pelting Kabuto with the Rasengan. Orochimaru is shocked that someone like him could learn that jutsu, and Jiraiya, yeah, he's just proud. While the Rasengan did a lot of damage, Kabuto manages to get a hit on Naruto and he passes out. Kabuto thinks he survived the hit because he started healing before the attack got him. Unfortunately for him, most of the damage was actually internal, and he collapses too. Tsunade sees Naruto out cold and begins to heal him. She manages to save Naruto and he reaches for her necklace before passing out. Tsunade just smiles, and he puts the necklace on him. It's not Naruto's power, but his sheer belief in himself and never give up attitude that changes the people that he meets. Orochimaru sees this and knows that the Akatsuki are after Naruto. He decides this is the perfect time to get rid of him, so he takes out Jiraiya for the time being and goes after Naruto.
Do we have to wait for the kid to croak before we get our snacks? I'm getting hungry.
Zip it, or I'll make sure you definitely croak!
But Tsunade jumps in his way and takes the blow for him. When Orochimaru asks why, she says it's because this kid is going to be Hokage one day, and also because she is the 5th Hokage of the Leaf Village. Orochimaru tries attacking Naruto again, but Tsunade keeps taking the hits for him, and she's still trembling with fear because of all the blood, until she stops trembling. She kicks Orochimaru back, and then heals herself. She's overcome her fear, and is ready for a showdown. With that, all 3 Sannin call their summons. Jiraiya brings Gamabunta, Orochimaru brings the Snake King Manda, and Tsunade's is a huge slug named Katsuyu. The real fight is about to begin. The next episode starts with Tsunade sending Naruto after Shizune, as the battle between the Sannin kicks off. Manda immediately grabs hold of Katsuyu, but Gamabunta saves her, and then she gets away. Jiraiya and Gamabunta attack, but Orochimaru and Manda get away and ambush them. But Tsunade jumps them with Gamabunta's sword and impales Manda's face, before unleashing the biggest can of whoop-ass possible on Orochimaru. She beats him, and beats him, and beats him until he's black and blue. But since she's at her limit, she can't finish him off, so he manages to escape with Kabuto saying he still has one more way of resurrecting his arms. Jiraiya tries to chase them, but he's exhausted too. And just like that, the fight is over. Later, Jiraiya and Tsunade look over a passed-out Naruto. Tsunade remembers the people that she lost, as well as Naruto's words. They all then get back to town, and it's settled. Tsunade is going to be Hokage. Naruto says he's not sure she's the best candidate, so they take it outside again. But instead of hitting him this time, she kisses him on the forehead, a good luck charm. And with that, they head off back to the village. Now, with Tsunade coming back to the Leaf, all the classes at the Ninja Academy are dismissed. This is when Konohamaru sees his grandpa's, the Third Hokage stuff, being moved. He demands to know why, and they tell him the 5th Hokage is here. He goes to see for himself and runs into Tsunade, who doesn't know who he is and treats him like a child.
So poofy. It reminds me of my baby blanket.
He then runs into Naruto, who tells him that she's going to be the 5th Hokage. But he's super mad and straight up denies it before running off. Poor kid. He just misses his grandpa. Tsunade is briefed on the things she needs to do as Hokage, and the ceremony for her inauguration will be held in a few days. After that, she is immediately ambushed by Naruto, who says she needs to come and heal her friends. So he takes her to the hospital, where she meets Sakura for the first time. She then heals Sasuke instantly, which brings Sakura to tears. Next, Naruto takes her to Kakashi, but unlike Sasuke, she gives Kakashi an earful, saying it's embarrassing that he got taken out like that. Then, Naruto takes her to Lee before heading off to meet Iruka-sensei. He meets Iruka-sensei at Ichiraku Ramen, where they talk about the state of the Leaf Village. Things are a bit rough, so the shinobi will have to work overtime to compensate. But Naruto is ready, and Iruka believes in him.
Naruto, you've sure come a long way since the time you were just a kid trying to earn one of these.
Meanwhile, Tsunade is taking a look at Lee, and says that he should stop being a ninja. She says that his injuries are so severe that no one but her can operate on him, and even then there's a 50% chance of it working. The other 50%? Certain death. She says that he should look for something else to do in his life. It's just not worth the risk. Guy tries stopping him, but a heartbroken Lee just walks off without saying a word. The next episode opens with Naruto running into Lee and asking him about his treatment, but the poor guy doesn't have the heart to tell Naruto that he won't be getting better. That's when Konohamaru's friends show up. Why? 'Cause Konohamaru's in trouble. He's holed himself up in Hokage's room with all of his grandpa's stuff, and he won't come out. He's even set booby traps to stop anybody from coming in.
Go ahead and try it, see what happens! I'm the grandson of the 3rd Hokage!
Tsunade is about to barge in, but Naruto begs her to let him convince Konohamaru instead. She gives him until the end of the day, but it seems useless. Even the offer of free ramen won't get him out. Meanwhile, Sakura heads over to the hospital to give Lee some flowers before talking about how quickly Lady Tsunade fixed Sasuke. And just like with Naruto, Lee doesn't have the heart to tell her the truth. Meanwhile, Tsunade is preparing for her duties as Hokage, and comes across Lee's page in the ninja directory. She then goes to see him at the hospital and decides she's gonna fix him up. But to do that, she needs a book inside the Hokage's room. So she busts in like a boss, deals with all the traps like they're nothing, and gets the book that she needs. That's a Hokage, alright. Later, Naruto and Konohamaru are paying their respects at the 3rd Hokage's grave, and Naruto asks Konohamaru what he's so upset about. So Konohamaru tells him he thinks everybody will forget about the 3rd Hokage. But Naruto says that's a bunch of nonsense, and takes him to Tsunade to prove it. But when they get there, Konohamaru overhears Tsunade talking, and she says something that his grandpa said too. I'm the Hokage after all. That gives him belief in Tsunade, and he's not worried anymore. The episode ends with Tsunade cooking up a way to fix Lee. The following episode opens up with Tsunade still researching how to treat Lee. Speaking of Lee, he's skipping out on rehabilitation and is instead thinking about the good old days. But his nostalgia train gets interrupted by Guy, who asks him why he's not at rehab. And Lee says it's because, up until now, the answer to every single challenge has been to just work harder than everybody else. But now, he can't even work hard at all. He's stuck. He doesn't know what to do. Seeing the pain that his student is in, Guy knows there's only one thing that he can do. Lee has to have the surgery.
It must be painful, knowing all your hopes and dreams are about to be ripped away from you.
Even if it's a 50-50 chance of him surviving it. When Lee says that he doesn't want to risk dying, Guy says that he won't, because everything he's done up till now has been to be a ninja. The hands of fate surely wouldn't betray him now. The next day, Shizune wakes up to see all of Tsunade's research, and she sees that the chance of success of the surgery has gone up to 58%. Later, Tsunade is officially inaugurated as the Hokage, and the Leaf Village cheers her on. The next episode opens with Sasuke still in the hospital, thinking about how bad things have gone for him ever since he got his butt kicked by Itachi. Meanwhile, we learn Tsunade is appointing someone as a Chunin. Turns out to be Shikamaru. His match against Temari was super impressive, even if he did give up at the end, and the 3rd Hokage was planning to promote him. So, Team Asuma goes to a restaurant to celebrate, and we get a nice bonding moment between Choji and Shikamaru.
Well then, why are you on a diet, Ino?
We diet for one very important reason, Choji.
So we can look as cute as we can for the boy we like.
We then cut to Sasuke, who's having a nightmare about his past, and wakes up to the sound of Naruto and Sakura approaching his room. Meanwhile, Orochimaru sends his goons to the Leaf Village, and it looks like something is about to go down. Back in the Leaf, Tsunade tells Lee to get ready for his surgery, as Sasuke finally loses it. He's done with being outdone by Naruto, and challenges him to a fight immediately. Naruto accepts, and they head to the roof for their showdown. The ultimate failure versus the ultimate talent. The fight starts with simple hand-to-hand combat, but Naruto is on the back foot. He brings out the clones and starts cooking Sasuke, but he cooks them right back with a fireball jutsu. When the flame settles, Naruto's cooking up his Rasengan. Seeing this, Sasuke charges up the Chidori, and both of them fly in to hit each other as Sakura tries to stop them. As Sasuke and Naruto's battle happens, the Sound Ninjas make their way to the Leaf Village. They're coming for Sasuke. Meanwhile, Naruto and Sasuke are about to collide when Kakashi steps in and throws them away. Both of their attacks hit water tanks, and Sasuke sees that his Chidori did way more damage than Naruto's Rasengan, which makes him smile.
Naruto, is that what I think it was?
Kakashi tears into the both of them for taking it too far, but Sasuke is too happy about being stronger than Naruto to care, until he sees the back of the tank that Naruto hit, and it is completely destroyed. Meanwhile, both Jiraiya and Kakashi say the other has taught their student a jutsu way ahead of their level, and agree to talk some sense into them. Sakura is crying over her friends fighting like that, but Naruto walks up to her and tells her to stay out of their business. Jeez, that's cold. Later, Sasuke is thinking about how he's nowhere near as strong as Itachi. All the while, from a distance, the Sound Ninjas look at him. That's when Kakashi shows up and starts lecturing Sasuke about revenge being a useless thing. Sasuke says maybe he should kill the person closest to Kakashi. Then he would understand what it means to be like Sasuke. But Kakashi says he's already lost all the people that he was closest to. Then Kakashi says that even though he and Sasuke lost somebody, they've gained precious comrades as well. He says Sasuke should cherish them instead of wasting his life chasing revenge. He then leaves Sasuke, who sits there and thinks about how much he cares for Sakura and Naruto, but how much he wants revenge on Itachi. Just then, the Sound Ninjas show up, introducing themselves as the Sound Four. We have Kidomaru, Sakon, Jirobo, and Tayuya. They start fighting Sasuke, but he manages to hold them off.
Before we go another round, I should warn you. You might want to think about it. I'm in a really bad mood.
But they're just getting started. Episode 109 starts as Sasuke takes on the second four, and he's doing pretty okay. But that stops when they actually start trying. Meanwhile, Sakura finally tells Naruto about the curse mark and Orochimaru, but Naruto says it's fine. Sasuke would never turn over to someone like Orochimaru. Unfortunately, after getting the living daylight beat out of him, Sasuke is at the Sound Four's mercy. But instead of killing him, they tell him to join them in service of Orochimaru. That's how they got so powerful, and it'll work for him too. With that, they disappear into the night.
What does Lord Orochimaru even want with this kid? I don't see what the big deal is.
Back in his room, Sasuke packs his things and gets ready to leave the village, but Sakura had a bad feeling, so she was on the road leading out of the village waiting for him. She tries her best to get him to stay, reminding him of all the good days that they've had and saying that if he stays, she'll do anything to make him happy. Oh man, the poor girl. When Sasuke refuses, she says that she's gonna scream, but Sasuke appears behind her and says, "Thank you," before knocking her out and leaving her on the bench.
You haven't changed. You're still annoying.
Don't leave me!
When Sasuke leaves the village, he sees the Sound Four bowing to him. Orochimaru told them that when Sasuke leaves the village, he'll be their leader. And so just like that, Sasuke starts going after Orochimaru. The next episode starts when a Jonin finds Sakura asleep on a bench. He wakes her up and she starts crying, telling him all about what just happened. The Jonin then informs Tsunade about it, so she brings in the latest Chunin, Shikamaru, and briefs him on the situation. His mission is simple: gather the best genin in the leaf and go after Sasuke. So he gets Naruto, Neji, Choji, and Kiba. The Sasuke retrieval squad is set. But before they go ahead, Shikamaru lays out a strict plan and formation for them to follow. He may be lazy, but when it comes to being a ninja, Shikamaru is top class.
With all the walks you and Akamaru go on, you're the most familiar with the Land of Fire's terrain.
After they're done with the mission brief, they start heading out, but Sakura shows up behind them. Shikamaru says he can't take her on the mission, and she breaks down crying, begging Naruto to bring Sasuke back. He promises on his life that he'll bring Sasuke back to her, no matter what. Meanwhile, the Sound Four tells Sasuke they have a secret task from Orochimaru. He needs to die once before being reborn. What the hell does that even mean? The following episode kicks off with the Sasuke retrieval squad doing their best to get to Sasuke on time. Meanwhile, the Sound Four explains what it means by Sasuke dying again. Basically, his curse mark is at the first stage now, so to bring in the second stage, he needs to take this pill that will kill him. Then when he's reborn, he'll awaken the second stage of the curse mark. But while that's happening, they need to seal him up for his safety. Sasuke complies, and they do it, sealing him in a container. But as they're making their way out, they get spotted by some Leaf Jonin who start fighting. but these are 4 ninjas with curse marks. Even 2 Jonin can't beat them. Shizune and her other teammates find the Jonin beaten and bruised, barely alive. The Sound 4 really are a bunch of monsters. Back in the village, Lee's recovering from his surgery but wants to get his training started immediately by walking up a huge flight of stairs all by himself. But Tsunade stops him before he hurts himself again. Meanwhile, Shikamaru and Co. reach the area the Sound 4 are resting in and navigate their way through a bunch of booby traps. Naruto, being an idiot, almost sets one off, but Shikamaru saves him with Shadow Possession. Neji then uses his Byakugan to locate the enemy, and they try to launch a sneak attack. But Kiba figures out they're coming. When Shikamaru and Neji sneak up on them, Sakon throws a kunai with paper bombs right at them, and the episode ends with a massive explosion. The next episode opens with the explosion making Shikamaru and Neji fall right in front of the Sound 4. Shikamaru tries saying they're not here to fight, but Kiba has already caught the other 3.
What good's that gonna do? Throw all the smoke bombs you want. I've still got you.
They're about to start throwing down, but Shikamaru catches them in the Shadow Possession Jutsu. The Leaf Boys think that they've got him, but Sakon uses his jutsu to attack Shikamaru from behind. He has to dodge and loses control of the Sound 4. Jirobo then immediately seals them in an earth dome. The boys are trapped, and Jirobo is slowly sucking out their chakra as well. Oh man, this is bad. Inside the dome, the boys are growing exhausted, slowly having their chakra sapped from them. Kiba and Akamaru try breaking out, but it's no use. The barrier just grows back. Seeing this, Shikamaru tries something new. Negotiation. But, well, it was just a trick to see which side of the barrier the enemy was on. Now that he knows the other side is weaker, he has Choji charge up and barrel his way out the other side. The boys are free, and it's 5v1 now. Episode 113 kicks off with Jirobo taunting the Leaf Boys, and Kiba and Naruto charging in head-on. Turns out, this is a bad idea, because Jirobo is all juiced up on their chakra. He smacks them back, and tries trapping them again, but they get away and start cooking up a plan. Shikamaru says he and Naruto should stay and fight this guy, while the rest go ahead with Neji as their leader. But when Jirobo attacks again, Choji says he'll stay back and defeat him 1v1. He then eats one of 3 special colored balls and takes on Jirobo. And to Jirobo's shock, not only does Choji stop him, he tosses Jirobo like a rag doll. The fight is on. Choji is more powerful now because of the pill, but there are side effects to anything that works that good, and he's really starting to feel them. He then decides he needs to end this immediately and charges at him with his spiky ball jutsu. He thinks he's got him, but Jirobo activates his curse mark and punches him back. As Jirobo trash talks him and starts roughing him up, Shikamaru tells the rest of the guys to not worry about Choji. He's as strong as they come. Meanwhile, Choji takes the second pill and starts fighting again. Episode 114 opens with Choji using expansion jutsus to put the smackdown on Jirobo. But after being pushed to his limit, Jirobo brings out the second stage of his curse mark, which turns him into a monster. And a monster he is. He's absolutely dominating Choji. He then starts sucking the chakra out of Choji, and after he's done, gets ready to deliver the final blow. Meanwhile, Shikamaru sets a marker for Choji in case he catches up. Realizing he's in a corner, Choji takes the final pill and gains insane strength, as well as some rather fabulous chakra wings. He holds Jirobo down in one spot and unleashes all that chakra into one blow, taking him out. Unfortunately though, the side effects from the last pill are the most devastating, and he's about to bite the dust. He gets to a tree and starts crying as he sees the message that Naruto left for him. Remembering his friends, he lies down against the tree and stops moving. Wow. In the next episode, Shikamaru tries disguising as Jirobo to get Sasuke back, but it doesn't work. Kiba tells the others to go on. He'll handle it this time. And handle it, he does. Because while Shikamaru is cooking up some good plans, they don't know their enemy's jutsu. He basically has Spider-Man powers as his jutsu and uses webs to trap all of them, including Neji, who he wraps up in a cocoon. Then he starts picking off Naruto's shadow clones in a sick game, trying to see how long it takes to get the real one. But the real Naruto isn't there, and he launches a sneak attack at the perfect time. But even that isn't enough to catch him, and he traps Naruto too. Looks like he's a goner, but Neji jumps in at the last second to save him. His gentle fist style is the only thing that can cut Kiba threads, so he tells the others to keep moving. This is his 1v1 now.
If we all stay here, we won't be able to catch up with Sasuke.
But what about Choji? He hasn't come back.
Kiba isn't letting them get away that easily though, and launches an attack, but Neji just swats it away. Naruto and the others escape, so the fight is on now. Kidomaru starts launching webs at Neji and he keeps cutting them up, but there are too many, and Neji gets caught. Neji's enemy is going for the killing blow, but he uses his insane chakra control to get out. And unfortunately for Kidomaru, he's in range for the 8 trigram 64 palms technique. The following episode starts with Neji unleashing the 8 trigram 64 palms on Kidomaru, but his armor means even Neji's best shot doesn't affect him. Still, even this guy can realize that there's no beating Neji in close combat, so he retreats and tries launching an ambush. But Neji's Byakugan sees everything, and he uses 8 trigrams rotation to block the barrage of attacks.
No way!
Realizing Neji means business, Kidomaru activates his curse mark and summons a huge spider. This big one then gives birth to my biggest fear, 1,000,000 smaller spiders. He launches them all at Neji, who uses the rotation to keep them away again. But just as he stops his rotation, Kidomaru launches an attack at him. But there's no way that Neji's going to be caught that easily, and he deflects the attack. Still, Kidomaru keeps launching attacks hoping to find a weakness in Neji's technique, even when Neji increases his 64 palm technique to 128 palms. One of the kunai that Kidomaru launches ends up hitting him. Kidomaru realizes that the Byakugan has a blind spot, and he uses it to get 2 more kunai stuck in Neji's back. This is bad. Neji's weakness has been found, and he can't fight Kidomaru at range. Kidomaru then launches the huge spider at Neji, and Neji blows it up. But it was a trap, and Neji gets pelted with even more kunai. However, he still gets up. So Kidomaru decides to bring out the second stage of his curse mark, which turns him into a spider monster. He charges up an arrow, and launches it directly into Neji's blind spot. Episode 117 opens with an arrow causing a massive explosion. It looks like Neji is done for, but he manages to step aside enough for it to miss his heart. Unfortunately though, it still hits him, and it does some serious damage. Neji then tries to make some distance, but Kidomaru can still see him, and he launches another arrow. Neji manages to evade again, but still gets clipped and loses his headband. Meanwhile, the enemy gets ready to release his deadliest arrow yet. Realizing that he has no other option, Neji just takes the hit. But then he uses the thread to send a wave of chakra, doing some serious damage to Kidomaru. Neji isn't done yet, and he charges in to absolutely pummel him, defeating him. Unfortunately, his own injuries are extremely severe, and he can't go on. Still, he remembers his journey up until this point, and even though he passes out, he does so with a smile on his face. The next episode opens with Shikamaru saying they can't attack at night, they have to wait until the break of dawn. Meanwhile, back with Orochimaru, his body is breaking down by the second, and he needs a new vessel immediately. He's holding out for the Sound 4 to bring Sasuke in, but Kabuto says there's a real chance that they won't make it in time, so he should just choose another body for now. Kabuto then goes to this prison he and Orochimaru made, and says that he'll release the last guy standing. It's kinda like Fortnite, you know, but in real life.
How would you like to be released from your imprisonment?
Anyway, with that done, he only has to do one thing. Wake up some guy named Kimimaro. Kabuto then goes to see this Kimimaro. Turns out he was supposed to be Orochimaru's vessel, but then his body is sick and he can't serve Orochimaru anymore. As this happens, Orochimaru goes and grabs the winner of the prison battle royale, but says he'll grant him one wish before he takes his body. The poor guy asks for the freedom of his family, and Orochimaru agrees before doing the deed. Only one problem with that, once he takes over a new body, Orochimaru can't transfer his body again for a few years, meaning he can't take over Sasuke's body just yet. Meanwhile, Kimimaro says he's gonna fetch Sasuke himself. It's the only way he can be useful to Orochimaru now. I would like to take this moment to remind you that this is Orochimaru manipulating a network of literal children and giving them superpowers in exchange for their service like he's the devil. This guy is never seeing heaven. And again, I know I've said it so many times, this is a kid's show. Back in the forest, Sakon and Toyuya are heading towards the border, when Naruto and the others finally catch up. It looks like the Sound Ninjas have the upper hand, but Shikamaru cooks up a perfect plan that leads to Toyuya being shadow-possessed, and Sakon crashing right into her.
Got my arm!
With that, they grab the container Sasuke is sealed in and make a run for it. But of course, our Sound friends immediately chase them. The episode ends with a glimpse of Kimimaro as he makes his way to the battlefield. This guy is definitely bad news. The following episode starts with Naruto, Kiba, and Shikamaru trying to get away from the rest of the Sound 4. They plant a bunch of paper bombs to slow them down, but Sakon traps Akamaru right next to one of them. Kiba dives in to save him, and all three end up falling into a crevice. Naruto and Shikamaru are worried, but they don't have time to worry, because Toyuya is right on them. But suddenly, she stops dead in her tracks, and that's because Kimimaro has shown up. Within a blink, he takes Sasuke away from Naruto and Shikamaru. He then tasks Toyuya with dealing with them, while he takes Sasuke back to Orochimaru.
Why have you come back here? Your body is... By now, your body should be...
Shikamaru announces that it's a 2v1, that they can beat her with teamwork. So he and Naruto attack Toyuya together, but it's a farce. Shikamaru holds her off long enough to give Naruto a shot at chasing Kimimaro. He does, but not before he pulls a few faces at her for falling for their plan. Naruto then catches up to Kimimaro, and you can see the Nine-Tails chakra is coming out. He then asks Kimimaro what Orochimaru's plan is, and Kimimaro tells him he wants to take over Sasuke's body. Naruto is not going to let that happen. So Shikamaru is facing off with Toyuya, who summons 3 giant monsters and controls them with her flute. Kiba is getting smacked around by Sakon, and Naruto has summoned his usual billion shadow clones. 3 different 1v1s are about to go down. The next episode starts with Kiba and Akamaru attacking Sakon, only to find out he can summon 2 of himself as well. Shikamaru is locked in with Toyuya, and Naruto is fighting Kimimaro. Meanwhile, Toyuya activates her curse mark and starts controlling the giants, sending them after Shikamaru.
So she controls him with that flute!
As this happens, we see Sakon's jutsu. The big brother lives inside him, and he can attack from any place at any time, using any part of his body. With that, they both activate the second stage of their curse mark, and turn into a 2-headed devil. The Leaf Boys are in some serious trouble. Naruto, meanwhile, can't even touch Kimimaro with his shadow clones. While Shikamaru keeps evading the giants, Shikamaru and Kiba bring out their special new jutsu, Wolf Fang over Fang. Not only does it turn them into a giant double-headed white wolf, it tears the brothers in half. But they just grow legs and arms and get up, saying they wanted to separate anyway. Kiba and Akamaru then launch another Wolf Fang over Fang, but the brothers summon a wall to stop them. They're not done yet. Akamaru sends acid pee into one of the brothers' eyes, and it takes a hit for Kiba. Kiba looks left and right, desperate to find the second brother, Ukon. But to this horror, he sees that Ukon is now part of his body, and he plans to kill Kiba from the inside.
I'm able to use chakra to dismantle and reconstruct these cells and proteins at will.
So Kiba does the only thing he can and stabs himself. If he's going out, he's taking this guy with him. Episode 121 starts with Kiba trying to stab himself again, but Ukon manages to get out just in time. Still, the damage is done. Ukon is hurt. Kiba uses smoke bombs and a fake Akamaru as a trap for some kunai, and gets away for a while. Ukon is hurt now, so he returns to his brother's body. Meanwhile, Kimimaro is using his Keke Genkai to systemically take out Naruto's shadow clones. What is his Keke Genkai? Bone manipulation. He can extend and change the shape of his bones at will. It's super versatile, as hard as steel, and very powerful. As Kimimaro makes a sword out of his bones, Sasuke's container starts smoking. Something bad is about to happen. I can feel it. While that's happening, Toyuya is still chasing down Shikamaru, who's keeping his distance. Meanwhile, Kiba's lost too much blood. It looks like he can't move. Sakon catches up to him, but he escapes using the river. Toyuya also catches up to Shikamaru and finally corners him. He can't pick up which notes control which movements, meaning that he's stuck. And the episode ends with Toyuya's giants charging in. Episode 122 begins with Naruto surrounding Kimimaro. Kimimaro says he'll show Naruto a special move called the Camellia Dance next, and begins taking down even more clones. While that's happening, Toyuya's giants charge in with new attacks. Shikamaru realizes the attacks are pure chakra, and he can't deal with them head-on, so he starts strategizing.
She changed the tune!
Meanwhile, Kiba makes it downstream, but Akamaru is in bad shape. Can't even eat a food pill. Kimimaro is still taking out Naruto's clones, and Shikamaru finally finishes cooking up his plan. He launches 8 attacks, but they all fail, and Toyuya sends her giants after him. But all 8 attacks were decoys. The real attack is the 9th one, a light bomb that increases the power of his shadows. He uses the increased power to control the 3 giants with shadow possession, and Toyuya can't believe he could read her music like that. But he wasn't reading the music. He was reading the movements of her fingers. He charges in with the giants, but Toyuya just undoes the summoning jutsu, sending them back. But as always with Shikamaru, there's always more. His plan was to distract Toyuya using her own summons to get close enough to use shadow possession. It works, and Shikamaru has her.
What did I tell you? I'd hunt you down using your own pieces. I used them all right.
But that's when Toyuya activates the second stage of her curse mark and begins resisting against the shadow possession. Shikamaru tries strangling her, but she breaks free and puts him in a genjutsu. Now it looks like he might be done for. Until he breaks the genjutsu by breaking his finger, and now he's got her back under his shadow possession. So now it looks like she might be cooked. There is no such thing as a simple Shikamaru fight, is there? The episode then ends with Kiba making his way downstream, through the water. The following episode opens with Shikamaru and Toyuya fighting for control. Even though Shikamaru has her binded at such a close range, her insane amount of chakra means that he just can't stop her. Shikamaru realizes he needs to end this soon. Meanwhile, Kiba is tending to an injured Akamaru, and he senses people moving towards them, so he changes his hiding place. Back with Naruto, and Kimimaro is done with all of his shadow clones. Just then, Sasuke's container breaks, and he comes out of it looking like what I can only call a monster. The second phase of his curse mark has been activated. Naruto tries talking some sense into him, but he just laughs and heads off. Naruto tries to follow, but Kimimaro attacks him from his blind spot. It's certain death for Naruto. Until somebody kicks Kimimaro away. Who is it? It's Rock Lee. He's back, baby! Lee tells Naruto to go after Sasuke, and he'll fight Kimimaro instead.
You die! I dislike being ignored.
Back at the Leaf, Tsunade is filling in the injured Jonin on the situation, and says she made a move to help them. That's when Guy shows up asking about Lee's operation. Tsunade tells Guy that Lee's surgery was a success, that he should be resting, which he definitely is not doing. When they check his room, they see not only did he leave, but he took Tsunade's alcohol instead of his medicine with him. The bottles look exactly the same. This makes Guy's face go white. When Tsunade asks why, he says it's because alcohol turns Lee into a madman. Not only that, but he's a natural master of the drunken fist. For anybody not in the know, drunken fist is a type of martial art where you get drunk and you fight. It makes you totally unpredictable. Back with Kimimaro, and Lee asks him to stop for him to take his medicine. Kimimaro obliges, and Lee gulps down the alcohol. He is instantly a drunken mess, and is ready to take on Kimimaro again.
Love elixir? Oh no.
Guy, what's the matter?
How is he gonna fight him drunk? The episode then ends with Naruto chasing Sasuke at full speed. Bro is bringing his friend back no matter what. The following episode opens with Lee more drunk than a sailor as he lunges at Kimimaro, only to fall on his face. But when he gets up, he attacks for real, and his speed and power are unbelievable. What's more, because he's drunk, his movements are so random that Kimimaro can't see them coming. Lee attacks him over and over, and no matter what Kimimaro tries, he just can't get a hit in. Lee even pretends to fall asleep to lure him in, and it actually works, until he falls asleep for real. Aw, man. Kimimaro checks the medicine bottle, and realizing that he's facing the drunken fist, he tries to end it. But Kimimaro can't even hit a sleeping Lee. His body reacts too fast, and the patterns are just so random. Lee manages to knock the sword out of Kimimaro's hand and push him back. Oh my god, Lee is cooking. We then catch a glimpse of three people approaching the area, before going back to Lee. Kimimaro finally locks in and activates his curse mark. He can use even more bones now, and he's faster too. He manages to push Lee back and cut his face as well. While all that's going on, Shikamaru is still struggling with Toyuya, and Sakon is hot on Kiba's trail. The cut on Lee's face has made him lose his drunkenness as well. He's back to normal. All three Leaf Genin are in a really bad spot now. Shikamaru loses his control on Toyuya. Sakon finds Kiba, and Kimimaro stops Lee's primary lotus.
The first gate of opening! Open!
All three sound ninjas go in for the killing blow, but then something strange happens. Toyuya is blown away by a gust of wind. Someone or something gets in the way of Sakon's kunai and Kiba, and a very familiar sand stops Kimimaro from killing Lee. That's right, the Sand Genin have showed up, and this time, they're with the good guys. The following episode sees Gaara protecting Lee from Kimimaru's bones. Meanwhile, Temari is helping out Shikamaru, and Kankuro is fighting off Sakon and Ukon. He takes out Ukon with his fake puppet gimmick, and he's forced to merge back with his brother. With that, the fight is on, but it's not a long one. Kankuro attacks them from different sides to make them move in a certain direction, and that leaves them right inside the puppet's body. He then uses the puppet's limbs to impale them. Wow.
Secret black move! Iron Maiden!
That is a brutal way to go out, but I mean, well, they deserved it, so. Back with Shikamaru, he tells Temari everything he's learned from Toyu's techniques. He says they can't win, that they should retreat, but Temari isn't having any of it. And with a summon and one swipe of her fan, she takes out half the forest and Toyuya along with it. That's just how the Sand Genin get business done. Meanwhile, Gaara and Kimimaro are having a stare down. It's a fight between two of the most OP Kekkei on the planet. The following episode kicks off with a bang, as Kimimaro is running at Gaara and Lee. Gaara tries hitting him with sand, but it's just no good. Kimimaro is way too fast, so Gaara puts up a sand shield, but Kimimaro gets through it and punches the taste out of his mouth. Lee jumps in to help, but Kimimaro just pushes him to the side. He's out of his depth in this fight.
Tsunami!
Kimimaro then pulls out his own damn spine as a sword and also turns his hand into a gigantic drill. But he also starts coughing up blood. He's running out of time. Meanwhile, Gaara puts up his ultimate defense, the shield of Shukaku. Kimimaro goes at it with everything that he's got, but he can't pierce it. And for the first time ever, one of his bones actually breaks. Gaara then starts sinking Kimimaro into the ground, 200 meters underground to be exact. But even that can't take this man down. He makes bone spikes into the ground so much that Gaara and Lee have to float above it.
I took the hardest minerals in the soil I gathered, and then I fused them with the sand using my chakra.
He thinks about how Orochimaru trained him and brought him up, and when he first realized he was sick, knowing his time is almost over, he ambushes Gaara and Lee and strikes Gaara until he stops halfway. He died mid-attack. That's how devoted he was to Orochimaru, literally serving him until his very last breath. After the fight, Gaara says he completely lost and would have been finished if not for Kimimaru's body just giving in. Then he and Lee have a conversation about loneliness, and it's enough to really make you cry. It's a beautiful moment. And with the sound 4 down as well, it's time for the main event. Naruto has finally caught up to Sasuke. Also, heads up, the following episodes have a lot of flashbacks. To start episode 128, Naruto calls out to Sasuke, but this isn't the same Sasuke he used to know. He's being run by hatred and his lust for power and revenge, and we can see that with his curse mark and his eye.
She sent you, huh?
I did everything I could.
Naruto reflects on all the time they spent together, how they've saved each other's lives multiple times. But Sasuke says this is his path, and that Naruto doesn't have the right to tell him what to do. In fact, nobody does. But Naruto's not having that weak stuff. All his friends just risk their lives going after him, so he jumps on Sasuke and tries punching some sense into him, saying Orochimaru will just use him. But Sasuke doesn't care. As long as he gets his revenge, he's fine with it. With that, he picks Naruto up like he's a baby before absolutely walloping him into the waterfall.
The only thing that matters to me is achieving my goal. If you insist on getting in my way.
Sasuke's gotten a serious power-up. Naruto felt the power-up too. But when have we ever known him to give up like that? He gets back up out of the water and goes at him again, only for Sasuke to smack him right back in and steal his tools. Sasuke says his dream died in the past, and we see a flashback of him and Itachi sharing a normal moment like brothers do. Then Naruto blasts out of the water again, and then ties Naruto to a rock using his own string, before sending a fireball jutsu right in his face. Oh man. Episode 129 begins, and Naruto jumps straight at Sasuke and gets a clean hit in. But Sasuke's unfazed. He hits him again, and again, and again, until his knuckles are bloody. But Sasuke's unmoved. Hell, he's not even using his Sharingan yet. He starts pummeling Naruto, saying he'd never have gotten this strong if he stayed in the village playing ninja with him. We then cut to another flashback of Sasuke and Itachi, and see how his childhood was, always in the shadow of his older brother. No matter how hard he worked, or how well he did, he was always a step behind Itachi. But Itachi wasn't perfect. The perfect ninja, yes, but his resentment for the Uchiha clan and their traditional way of thinking was starting to show way before he murdered all of them.
Sasuke, use the bathroom and go to sleep.
Okay.
It reached a boiling point when the Uchiha police accused Itachi of murdering his best friend, Shizui Uchiha. We'll get to know him a little better in Shippuden. He proceeds to whoop the police's butt, but stops when his father shows up and apologizes. But Sasuke sees his eyes, and his Sharingan is different. More on that in the next episode.
If I find you betrayed this clan, I want you to know, you'll pay for your wrongs.
With that, Naruto gets up and gets ready to throw down with Sasuke, who finally brings out his Sharingan. The next episode sees the fight begin with Naruto throwing shadow clones at Sasuke, and Sasuke cooking them all. With his Sharingan, he can see the real Naruto. Flashback time. Sasuke could see the relationship between his dad and Itachi grow sour after the police incident. With his relationship with Itachi falling apart, their dad takes Sasuke for training and tries teaching him the fireball jutsu. But it's the same as always. He's not as good at it as Itachi was. But Sasuke is determined to catch up to his brother, so he trains all day, every day, practicing the jutsu over and over again.
Today for sure. Fire style! Fireball jutsu!
Sasuke's mom patches him up in between, and he keeps practicing all week long. Finally, he calls his dad to come watch him and shows him a full-fledged fireball jutsu. And for the first time in his life, his dad praises him like he did with Itachi. But then he follows it up by saying Sasuke should stop chasing Itachi. Jeez. Sasuke asks his mom why his dad only ever worries about Itachi, but his mom says that's just because Itachi is such a big part of the clan. But Sasuke can't shake the feeling that Itachi is different.
The other day, down on the dock, Father said to me, "That's my boy." That's something he's only ever said to Itachi.
We then see the day when Itachi killed his entire clan, and it started like any other. Sasuke asking Itachi to teach him, and Itachi saying he doesn't have enough time. There, Sasuke asks his dad if there are different types of Sharingan, with Itachi's special eye in his mind. His dad tells him about a kind of Sharingan even above the regular type, the Mangekyo Sharingan. Meanwhile, back to the present time, Sasuke and Naruto are fighting, and Sasuke isn't holding back at all.
If you're not convinced yet, I'll just have to spell it out for you!
He tells Naruto to stop fighting like they're friends, before kicking him back into the water. The following episode starts with us seeing the night Sasuke's parents were murdered, along with his whole clan, again. This time there's more. After killing everybody, Itachi tells Sasuke that he could do it because he had the Mangekyo Sharingan that Sasuke's dad was telling him about. He says he left Sasuke alive because he's the only one with the potential to rival him. He then tells him what an Uchiha has to do to get the Mangekyo Sharingan. Kill their best friend. He says he killed Shizui to get his Mangekyo Sharingan, and tells Sasuke to meet him one day when he has the same eyes and fight him.
You killed Shisui?
I did. How else do you think I obtained these powers?
When Sasuke wakes up the next day, he's in the hospital. He runs back to his clan, hoping that it was all a bad dream, but it wasn't a dream at all, and a young Sasuke cries over the outline of his dead parents. For the last time, this is supposed to be a kid's show. Ever since that day, Sasuke's whole life has been about revenge. And though his time with Kakashi, Sakura, and Naruto made him think he could have a normal life, he knows that he can't.
Now then, that's my boy.
When we're alone and no one's around, the only one he talks about is you.
Naruto steps out of the water one more time, and realizes he has to fight Sasuke all out. He asks Sasuke if all the time they spent together meant nothing to him, but Sasuke says it does matter to him. In fact, Naruto is his closest friend, and that's why he has to kill him. With the flashbacks done, the real fight begins now, and it's one of the best in anime history. The next episode opens with Kakashi coming back from a mission and finding out what's happening from Tsunade. He immediately summons his dogs and sends them to find Naruto and Sasuke, and to call him when they do. He then thinks about how he failed to get through to Sasuke, and whether Naruto and Sasuke would actually kill each other. He's brought out of his thoughts by his dogs, and he immediately chases them, praying that he makes it in time. Meanwhile, Naruto and Sasuke are going at it, and they both charge up their special attacks. The Chidori and Rasengan meet, and the explosion sends them both flying. They both slowly crawl out of the water, realizing the other could kill them before starting their battle again. Sasuke activates his curse mark and starts throwing all kinds of attacks at Naruto, while Naruto is thinking about how he always wanted to speak to Sasuke because he knew they were both lonely, but he never could, because Sasuke was so much better than him at everything. But after all that, they became friends, and wants to save Sasuke from Orochimaru no matter what. By now, Sasuke is holding Naruto like a bag of trash, and has Chidori charged up. Without even flinching, he hits Naruto with it, and it looks like it's all over. Until Naruto grabs Sasuke's arm and throws him back. The Nine Tails chakra has finally come out, and Naruto isn't playing anymore. He says he's gonna take Sasuke back to the village, even if he has to break every bone in his body. Damn, that's so sick. Episode 133 kicks off with Sasuke being shaken by Naruto's power-up, but he doesn't have time to think about it because Naruto is in on him again in an instant, and he's really giving him the business. He unleashes a mean combo on Sasuke and sends him flying into the wall, asking him to wake up. But Sasuke says Naruto doesn't know the pain of having a family and losing it. After all, he grew up without one in the first place. Naruto says Sasuke's right. He's never had a family. But he says that when he's with Iruka-sensei, he imagines that's what having a father must be like. And that when he's with Sasuke, he imagines that this is what it's like having a brother. He says that he didn't have a family before, but he has one now. He's not letting them get away. Naruto's words move Sasuke to the core, and the emotion causes his Sharingan to fully awaken. They start fighting again, but Sasuke's fully awakened Kekkei Genkai is OP as hell. He starts dominating Naruto and lands the cleanest punch I've ever seen in my life. As Kakashi is rushing to the position, Naruto bursts out of the water with his shadow clones, before using a shadow clone chain to wallop Sasuke into the mountain. Sasuke hits back with a devastating fireball jutsu, and the look on Sasuke's face says it all. He knows that he hurt Naruto. He then picks Naruto up, saying it's too late, before delivering the most disgusting pile driver I've ever seen. I'm serious, The Undertaker has never done something this brutal.
It's too late now! Naruto!
Sasuke thinks he's finally got Naruto, but the Nine Tails chakra comes in clutch once more. This time, the chakra is covering Naruto. It almost looks like a fox. With this chakra, Naruto hits a new level of power and speed. What's more, he can use the chakra to make big hands and attack Sasuke as well. Backed into a corner, Sasuke has no choice but to activate the second stage of the curse mark, turning him into a monster as well. Now powered by the curse mark, Sasuke grows wings that protect him from Naruto's attacks before he launches him back, but he's feeling the pain that using the curse mark causes. Naruto's also feeling the effects of using the Nine Tails chakra way too long. He can't feel his left arm at all. With that, the two friends charge up their special attacks one more time and throw them at each other. When they do, their chakras connect for a moment, and they connect, before there is a massive explosion. Not all stories have a happy ending. When the dust settles, Naruto has lost. He's out cold, and totally at Sasuke's mercy. Sasuke stands over him in the rain, and his headband, which Naruto scratched, slips off. Kakashi makes it, only to find Naruto passed out but alive. He picks his unconscious body up and apologizes for not making it in time.
The final valley, huh? To think that Sasuke and Naruto would battle it out here.
Sasuke, meanwhile, makes it out and is heading towards Orochimaru. He couldn't bring himself to kill Naruto, and decides he won't do as Itachi wants him to. Sasuke's gonna get strong on his own terms, and when he does, then he'll have his revenge. As Kakashi carries Naruto away from the battlefield, a mysterious man wearing the Akatsuki robe appears out of the ground and says things are getting interesting. If I had a penny for every time a shonen anime villain said that, I'd have a ton of pennies. Episode 135 opens with Kakashi carrying Naruto back to the Leaf Village. He gains consciousness for a moment and asks about Sasuke, and Kakashi's silence tells him everything that he needs to know. He hears that Neji and Choji are in super bad shape too, before he passes out. Back at the Leaf, Tsunade is patching up Choji, while Shizune is hard at work trying to fix up Neji. Kiba is in bad shape too, but he and Akamaru both just need rest.
We've been at it almost 3 hours. Your turn to take over.
Okay.
We're using the boy's own hair as a conductor, so focus on that!
Outside Choji's operation room, Shikamaru waits anxiously with Temari, who says he shouldn't be so nervous. But Shikamaru says this was his first mission as a leader, and it was just too stressful. This is why he doesn't want to be a ninja. That is, until his dad hears him say that and gives him a verbal smackdown on being a coward. His dad's right. He says that Shikamaru's friends are going on missions no matter what, so as long as he's leading them, they have a better chance of surviving. That's when Shizune comes to inform them that Neji is alright. Tsunade also comes out of the operating theater saying Choji is A-okay, and Shikamaru cries tears of relief, saying that he will do a better job as mission leader next time. Good old Shikamaru, man, I love this guy. Meanwhile, we catch a glimpse of Sasuke. He's made it to Orochimaru and he's getting the tour.
Watch what you say if you want to live long. Don't let his physical appearance fool you. That's still Lord Orochimaru you're talking to.
Ino and Sakura make it to the hospital and both go to see their teammates. For some reason, Sakura thinks Naruto brought Sasuke back, but when she gets to his room, she overhears him saying that he failed. Still, she goes in and tries to be positive, but Naruto isn't ignoring the fact that he failed to keep his promise. He apologizes and says he'll bring Sasuke back no matter what. Later, Jiraiya shows up and says he has some news for Naruto. He has it on good authority that the Akatsuki aren't coming for him for at least 3 or 4 more years, and he's decided to make Naruto his full-time student. He tells Naruto to stop chasing Sasuke. He went to Orochimaru on his own. Jiraiya had to face the same thing with Orochimaru when they were younger. He doesn't want Naruto to waste his life doing the same.
Idiot! Just take a good look at the condition you're in, and he's the one who did it to you. Was that the work of a friend?
No, but...
Naruto isn't budging. He made Sakura a promise, and he's gonna see it through. Jiraiya gives in, and tells Naruto to get well. They're leaving the village as soon as he does. The episode then ends with us seeing the Akatsuki having a meeting, and they talk about their goal, collecting the 9 tails and the rest of the tailed beasts as well. Wait a minute. There's more of them? Episode 141 is mostly filler, except for one thing that happens at the end, and that is Sakura going up to Tsunade and asking her to be her teacher. Tsunade considers it, but sees that she's desperate and agrees.
Very well. But be warned, I won't go easy on you.
Understood.
Jiraiya is listening from the balcony and just smiles. Now all 3 Sannin have taken each member of Team 7 under their wing. In episode 220, the last episode of Naruto, we see him finally recover from his injuries. That's when Jiraiya shows up and says the time for them to leave on their journey is here. So Naruto packs up his stuff and gets ready to leave. Elsewhere, we see all of the Leaf Genin working super hard, doing their absolute best to catch up to Naruto. After one last bowl of ramen with Haruka-sensei, Naruto promises to pay back for all the ramen when he's successful, and heads off with Jiraiya.
I'm going to have to work hard to keep up with you, Naruto, but I'll do it.
Naruto may be leaving the village, but it's only for a while. After all, he has a friend to save, and a dream to chase. Well, Naruto ends here, but Naruto Shippuden is only beginning. And to witness the rest of Naruto's amazing story and life journey, you should definitely click on this video right here on your screen. We have a brand new anime channel. Yep, that's right. That was the big surprise. We are branching off. I will see you there, folks. See ya.